Salubonani sesibuyile njalo podcast yabantu podcast ehamba iyedinga abantu sizoxoxa ingxoxo ezikuthiwa injula buchopho ezi deep kwesinye isikhathi ziba natural and ordinary kodwa kube khona la usalusa uxoxa ngakho elemibizo nguJoyful Sibonga kwenqube imphuma phansi lapha esigodini emangwaneni angihambi ngedwa njengenjwayolo Jwane elikhulu
emzimo Shaba
yebo
yabona unyaka
usuphelile du
njiva zonke ekhaya
du pepe
abantu bekele ukutabhayila lapha emafletini la
edunusa
qoma print to be kamati dunusa li right lini
esindebeleni
likhona
I think so sizotshela comment section
likhona igama leli dunusa
Bado gogo nqabe bekuphozisa lapha mabekupela besithi dunusa
no asokhotama
bazositshela ababukeli be-podcast yabantu
ligcwele kakhulu egoli dunu salubana nobukele emakhaya igama ngemsimo Shaba isikhoza sejwane thina sithi edlini sidembinkani ngesinye nje isiqephu se-podcast yabantu i-podcast enhle kakhulu hamba ne-Campro Studios laphana sise-Campro Studios njalo emagagasini
yes
ngithi kulomkhakha lo we-production mdala lapha yabungahamba ngarongo la
i-camera lani ihamba esiporweni ngaqala ukuyibonela khona
mhlawumbe ngiyathi benjingise laphana esiporweni laphana sibonde ngakwanisa yena umdala wopopo wangwisa
Sibonge khona mfowethu salamukela babukela bahle njengoba sethula mfowethu nxa ufuna lawe ukuthi uthole imifanekiso eqoshiwe ephezulu hamba phezulu noma impikitsha noma ngamavidiyo Campro Studios iyakuyizokwenzela noma ufuna ushuthi drama music video chat
vela sekubulali nje siyabonisana
ama divorce parties
these days kuma divorce parties kanti vele do you know it's fun ukuthi anti mabantu bechata kube kucelebrate one babe celebrate
union
uyakubona futhi ukuthi people tend to celebrate mabe divorce
so sizoxoxa yena namhlanje sihamba lo Virgie waziwa ngokuthiwa ngumama wezibonda nxa besitsho kodwa
mama mapara
sizothaze thule
kodwa wow
nangazi ukuthi linyasaranda noma likhaladi Nobuhle
yebo
welcome sizwana
yebo ngiyajabula ukuba lapha
unjani kodwa
right
sicela ukuthi
finally
uze thule
finally kunesidoja asikhulume khonapho kunini esidoja ethi umoza gcine ukuthi into ezekho right
no busy kakhulu umuntu lo
I know she's very busy it's so we really appreciate Virgie tina simbiza sithi ngostandard
yes
we really appreciate ukuthi
yes
out of your busy schedule you have ever busy you managed to come through come speak to us ujofubuzile lapha nathi
sifuna zethule ngoba
yes
uwaziwe nguNobuhle Virgie abanye basuke bebekwazi the full names maybe angasichazela ukuthi ungubani ozalwa ngapi into esifana zona lezo
ngiyabonga ukwamukelwa lapha and my apologies for ukuthi bendlala lidoja vele uma uqinisile ngezinto uqinisile
apha mangami
podcast yo
apha mangami but sibukelwa ngedatha
podcast yawona
ngiyabona ubukelwa ngedatha
but
podcast ile nto leyo kufukula ezinye izinto yabona sothina la sile zinto ezingafuni izifukule
yabona zikhona kodwa
uma lendlela yokuzifukula
zikhona yini
sebehlangene lo Joy ayagcina uzifukulile
so zikhona yini
hayi ezifukule esezivele seziphandle so semfunga ukutha ini cherry on the yes yabe sefongwe nje kulokho elakho already
so asiqale ngokuba kwazi singakabi wazi ezicacile
okay so mina ibizo lami Nobuhle kahle ibizo lami liphelele Nobuhle Virginia Ajit so mina kahle ngikalakatha icarrot icarrot mix eyenziwe
okay
my father is Malawian wasemangojo achimweni laba lale Malawi every day yabo
automatic
lathi abantwana bakona silala khona la
okay all right
then ngapha ngumama
producer
then umama wasecholocho Karate ezwane layo yabo. Okay.
Some buzz please producer.
Abantu bonke bathi mana.
Man, some buzz please producer. Jofi some buzz. Po. No, come on. Great things happen in Jolojo. Great people are from Jolojo. It is very cool.
They can't.
Come on.
Come on. Mana ngimtshele mfowethu ukuthi
come on.
Ukuthi ku podcast la. Since isacathulayo 95% of abantu abafika la. Even esuka koBulawayo rokuphikupi.
Ulubuzwane thisini.
Ulegazi lejwane phakathi. So ngiya understand ukuthi why besilokho sikulandelela sokuthi sengaze nga accept mina.
Yeah.
Echolocho sebavuma ukuthi bazonitshayela istand.
Jofi
Elise.
Ubaba ukuphi?
Usecholocho.
Naso. It's jwane.
Yebo.
Uma besenza abantu bakona bayenzisa.
Nazo.
Yeah, hayi noma sibathanda nje abafowethu from zonke indawo. All over. Cela indithethisa phela kuma comment labanye wazi. Selithanda futhi njalo.
So umama ngocholocho.
Mama ngecholocho kumadona just after business center. Kumadona. Mama walapho.
Okay, so uVirgie uzalelwa khona eMalawi noma uzalelwa eZimbabwe?
So baba mi wenza njengani? Like wasuka eMalawi for greener pastures eZimbabwe. Then wafika wathola isiqapho sengumama. Then wazosuba le product ephumayo. Product akhona yaba yini? Mina ikalakathe.
And did you notice ukuthi there was this thing that thing with the Malawians?
Yes.
Even in Sakula.
Yes.
It's people that were working kubo railways bengomachonisa abadala abaningi babe collect imali khona. It's people, you know, I think ukuthi traveling somewhere to a different country
yakufundisa
something. If you ever realized ukuthi foreigners behave different from the locals.
Exactly.
Wherever you go.
Yeah.
Because even in Skula, if you look into kulamalokishi koBulawayo lapha sizinda that are owned mostly by people from Malawi, people from different nations, someone from Zambia, from whoever. And if you notice, those people could buy property, could invest, could take our beautiful women, just like Mama Virgie here. Their mind was set. Mina azange ngikhule ngicabanga ukuthi nginyimini ngingayenza security. But I saw myself in South Africa doing a security job. But sasithi awuma hope laba. Yabona these minor jobs ngithi sometimes you are abantu be blame South Africans. Why are you not doing this job? Why are you not doing this? And then ngithi bakibo. And lawa ukini, that's how you had portrayed yourself ukuthi these other jobs are for. I don't think ukuthi wena koBulawayo you ever thought ukuthi usebenza restaurant or you become forced umntama hopho gqoka ichembe ekhanda uma hopho bechova amabhasikili kera giza fire ama hopho hota fire ogqoka ichembe ekhanda you think ukuthi. So now I think, you know, like that's why I say I give it to white people. Why they are always succeeding or excelling. They travel a lot. So when you travel a lot, you learn.
My
you experience things.
When you travel, you learn.
Thank you. You learn. You get to experience different things. You get to notice or to see the world in a different angle. And like who kutas it maybe to do something. So Tina, it problem is see. But one thing that I liked about this Zimbabwe, that is there. If you look at the bulk of people that are now in the bellies, and especially our generation, the generation of Virgie, you find with most of them, you will even find the Achimone blood there, the Mozambican blood, the Zambian blood there. But one thing that I've never heard was Utwaswa, or maybe segregation in Zondo, in the streets, like maybe how you could feel it in some other nations. Xenophobic tendencies, something that was never there. So they became part and parcel, and they even became naturalized. That's why I could bet Virgie citizenship, by birth, she's a Zimbabwean.
Or maybe let's ask: did you face any, or maybe Mdala?
So actually, it was when I was in South Africa, lying at Wanakon, where people made me realize that even in Zimbabwe, I'm actually a migrant. Even in Zimbabwe, I'm a foreign national. Ngase ngila, but ngisesizinda.
You never felt
You did not feel
I
that.
never felt it. There is no point where engake ngabizwa ngenyasarand by anyone ngisekhaya. Konke lokho ngama terms thina sesiposta ngawo sesilapha sesiclaim ukuthi siyathakatha yabo.
Exactly,
Ngicala enyasarand ngale mali
Because it's open minded.
Wela lutho.
Yeah.
Before ulala ukhaza ama yamanzi anzima kakhulu esonto.
I don't post.
Yeah.
Because I think
Yeah.
it's katasiko, and what we want to do is to get to know labantu they really want to know unobuhle
Who's
ngubani,
Yes.
all that, and siswile ibizo lesibongo, so that kusasa sibuye sizohlala phansi sixoxe about some of the things that you do in bits and pieces, in small episodes, ngoba kuningi okwenzayo,
Yeah.
kuningi kakhulu vele kahle kahle wenzayo.
Ish. Dami mfana to ngogogo usko 10. First of all, DJ.
I Dr. Matthews.
But the problem indlalela kwabahlupheka.
Yes.
No, but
So, yeah.
I think Jovi, before
Yeah.
I jump it quickly there, I think a bit of a background yokuthi ukhulele kuphi, wafunda kuphi, waqeda isikolo, then fast forward into you
when all this started.
Yeah.
into when this started. What prompted it to start? Kanjani? Why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So njengoba benshilo before lingenela. Umama nguMandebele waseCholocho.
Yes.
NgokoNdebele like uma sithi aMandebele Ndebele kumama sibongo sakoNdebele.
Mazankosi.
Yeah. I'm Zanzi.
All right.
Then ngapha ubaba wami ngoko Achiti, so ubaba wami being a migrant that he was ubesebenza eRailways. eNRZ until yazi abantu beNRZ baphiwa izindlu esizinda, so eNRZ umdala ube yi-electrician ubefaka ama-light ezitimeleni yabo, check-a ukuthi ugesi uhamba kahle esitimeleni and all. So baba wami always wanted the best for us, you know, education wise. And then akazange afuna ukusifundisa kwezinye izikolo. Mina i-primary yami ngafunda Greenfield Primary School Bellevue.
Wow.
Okay, all right.
Infant, then junior school Greenfield Southworld. Yikho la ngafunda khona. So I think ngomoya wami lo phansi na lo moya phansi angafuna ukufunda i-secondary kuma ezikolweni zenezi ekhaya sistema A schools ayingangichazi because elokushini bendlala abantu abafunda kuma local schools, and then I couldn't familiarize with them uma bebuya bekhuluma into zesikolo sawo, and then lama would come in, I felt like ngiyaziphakamisa. So I told myself ukuthi secondary ngangikhangelela bonhlathi eChabalala lezinye izikolo, but unfortunately they babengathatha abantu abaphuma kuma A schools. So kwamele ndinga indawo elsewhere, then ngagcina semfunda Townsend girls high khona bengafunda khona. My ladies in green.
But it makes sense. It makes sense manje. Sikhiwa lezi ndlala ngisibona lezi. From Townsend.
Indawo zeTownsend.
From Townsend wayapi ke?
So ngafunda eTownsend, and then so mina iphupho lami actually into engangifisa emoyeni wami ngafuna ukwenza investigative journalism. Into engangifisa. So even in history shame ngapasa with a straight A at Townsend because I was looking forward to that. But because I was abantwana noma bekhula esikoleni baba lobungezwa babo landlani. So mina at Townsend bayala ukungithatha for A level. But
ubungezwa kakhulu.
Kwakule group ababesithi vele thina yike basithathe yabo.
Konke yini group yakho?
I-group yakho ithi ngilitshela i-history yami. So uyabona ne-tattoo la.
Mana sonke
ibhalwe lo yi-tattoo yami.
Producer ibona le tattoo.
Phela wencingo.
No, lawa yona
Ngoja straight.
fanisi. Achana sengotsha ngumeva le reggae. So i-group le kwakuthiwa i-98 degrees. Engangikuyo, but 98 degrees it wasn't a destructive group ukuthi njengalokho kwama gangsterism, no. 98 degrees for you to qualify ku98 degrees mele kube from A1 to A3, meaning ukuthi mele ubupasa esikolo to be in that particular group.
It was the elite.
Yeah, it was the elite actually lapha mina ngangikhona. So ku elite na le singena lama sports wonke like sisenza konke nje.
What debate.
Manje i98 degrees ayelahlangana. Kwamele uthuma kulama disco like anti kulama okay Evelyn yayaziwa sister school ye-Gifford thina sasezwa singabe Milton so every time akule disco
Milton
mele sambe ku-disco enale yabona eMilton actually vele I was disqualified for attend ama-disco awe Milton
so otlo attend ama-disco
yeah but wawungasegroup eyangisayo le 98 degrees ama-teachers ayekwazi vele ole tattoo le yabona
so i-tattoo le was it
so yabona i-tattoo yamanditshele
yes
it was supposed to be 98 degrees le wona wayu-91 degrees ngasaba ngathi please abhoda khona lithi 8 hayi ngicela nifake 1
yes snitch come on
ugengela le yimi yedwa lo
come on
but they still allowed you to be part of
so,
the game
yeah
also this was part of the initiation
yeah
so who did these tattoos
sasenzana ngomeva
ufake ningoja
irekene ndo
irekene chisi ibe mnyama yes so initiation then to qualify initiation to qualify ku 98 degrees bagcina ku 91 wachela
what was the significance of degrees 98 degrees do you remember
kwakumele vele isichabo 90 kwakumele bo 98% so wona basakufaka ngo degrees silahlise ama teachers silahlise laba abantu abazodingisisa about lokho thina sikwenza so but isikolo amfuna ukuqamba manje isikolo besishaya sonke everyone in that group most of them even namanje
they still remember their names
well in their lives ukuthi amfuna baqamepa amadoda bakwazi
balabona awu vyaseba
ibona 98 degrees baphenduka abafazi babafundisi
abanye sebawathi
hayi 98 degrees mdala sichekani lapha kubo mama lapha abe Townsend abalama 98 degrees
every former Townsend student okwazi yokhumbulayo you don't need to be uthuziveze just comment anonymous usitshele tell us about the memories
the 98 degrees and tell us that if Virgie is telling us the truth that these people were not bullying teachers or doing unruly things
in 98 degrees kahlathi bifana ne Boko Haram yabophila labo la kodwa ungakwazi baku Boko Haram you understand the underground gang ngekuzube wazi yeah so bekunjalo nje ngekuzube but wabona abantwana abahlala bewina ama prize prize giving
but you see this for me this actually shows the power of unity right
true
people can unite in bad but people can also unite in good because these kids ushuthi awusafail nxa ulapha yana what you do you're striving to stay on or above 98
and picking up from what you're saying Jovi it gets me wondering do you know ukuthi into esifana about disco bes associated nabantwana abafila
ababhedayo
ukuthi the bad ones yibo bathola kuma disco but here we had 98 degrees that attended all disco shows so sometimes yebo umuntu angasengathanda uba the outgoing life but that doesn't determine ukuthi she's into bad things and she won't excel in school because I think most of the times ngokubelieve ukuthi lanothule kakhulu
nguyogood
ohlala endlini ongayiye kuma disco sibe sesikhala kuye ke sebebona ngesisu sebebuza ngesikabani ukuthi yenza gogo kasi zathi njobe ehlalo ehlala esendlini so sometimes allowing children to be themselves
grow learn make mistakes
so I love ukuthi this union was not only on the other side you needed also to excel this side
to qualify to be in that group.
So now they deny you the chance to go into A level.
Yeah, so when I was denied, actually when indaba yokudeny A levels umama wayekhuluma nje uthi if ungapass form 4 wakho kuzomela uhambe for A level the Townsend so ngazama la mphongo udingisa isithi bazosifuna yini yabo so anzange ngathola ama results am at the time because umama ngalahla ama textbook I think ngalahla textbook
ngalahla textbook
le science ngalahla textbook le math so umama wathi angeze sikubhadala ifisi yakwazi wena ukuthi uphumele ngayi yabo because umama babeyazi side leya eyama disco bathi lo akula lutho
so they wrote you off
so mama wathi hayi ngewest imali yami ngilokhuza then a good Samaritan I think it was one of my uncles wafika wabhadala yonke into and then ama results am bathola so tholakala ngithole 6 ngamphumele 6 at the time so because mama at that time my father was struggling because I had other siblings that were also going to A schools like now Moyambe Evelyn, Umuse Montrose and stuff. So
How many siblings do you have?
Kuzangkam, I have 4.
4.
Abanselemuva.
Okay.
Yes. And just one brother.
Okay.
The youngest is my young brother.
Okay.
Can continue?
Yeah. So ngasemfundisa ke ngasendinga umsebenzi uthi okay yenzani angeke ngihlale nje ngraise imali yokuya ku A level because I really wanted to do investigative journalism. So ngabona banjela ukuthi awungeke ungene ku investigative journalism ungela A level. So I had to do it. So ngazama ukuthi no ngemali teaching nale ngiza raise. So ngazama ngathi temporary teaching ayithola indawo ngasemakaya
kuphi
ukudlula ibhasi kanye
imali yayiziduma
dibuti
ele kubo inga Vic Falls le
ufundisa which classes?
I was teaching grade 3s and ngenhlanhla nje akwazi like umuyi student I mean no, I wasn't a student teacher a temporary teacher ke kulo teacher omkhulu then wena uyingoza nje yambi ilandele emuva so ngafundisa lapho and then the following year yike ngihamba khona for A level yami ngafunde Afrocoms form 5 no form 6 khona pa Afrocoms besaduze ne-Evelyn.
Yes,
that is where I did my A level
and yaziwa ngalaba no sisi impela
hayi lokho hayi mina ngale ngase ngiright impilo yami ase
phela wayesevela fundisa
humbled ngokuba utitsha
yeah abantwana it makes sense
yeah.
It makes sense. What happens after that, after Afrocoms?
So after Afrocoms and then ngase kwakune ma peer educators la enganilukhuza enganhlala eSizinda. So ngaba join ama peer educators laphana and then one day kwabuya abantu abazotesta for HIV. It was MSF Dabe test abantu for HIV. So because I joined ama peer educators basithola thina sikhona bathi zamana uqoqa phela communities o tester for HIV. Ngesikhathi HIV lapha ukuthiwa ilatshwa beetroot
lapana isaphema
so lapana isaphema inikipha nama bye bye ama good yeah khona pha wathiwa zamani kubiza umphakathi ubwe. So then that is when they discovered my strength which is slow managile organize abantu abaningi kangaka and then basebembuza ukuthi ngenzani for a living abatshela ngathi no ngisalinda ama result cause ngaloku ngiapply so ngaloku dinga lapha phela izikole ezinganthatha for ukuthi ngiqhubeke investigative journalism lengifuna. Then they said no, we can take you in. So ngasengisebenza lapho MSF bantrainer as an HIV AIDS facilitator. So sasifundisa amadoda ukugqoka ama condom, the proper use of ama condom kahle kahle.
But at the time when avele did you because you have this thing here, investigative journalism.
Yeah.
Nxa sebekutrainer bebone strength. Are you passionate or you doing it because of identifying?
I think abantu mina mthetho wami okwama organization and doing organizational work. I think ikolabo kule strength some. Why I wanted to do investigative journalism was because of the same cause bembone ngani kulabantu particularly community abantu abangabathathi serious because I would see pensioners abemalawo masebephelelwe ngumsebenzi failing to even go back to their home countries sebephelelwa yikho konke la khumbula lendlulane yenyamalala yesizini
wasala kwela lutho nje umuntu sekabe
did that happen for real?
Yeah ikhona vele stand esingela asomanga
so ajithile bona wathatha indlu yakho
la kumuntu hamba lendlu yakhe
bathi manje unikeze okuncane nxa siphuma la kulenye indlu yenyamalaliza. I love this because there's a side I'm getting that I didn't know about you from back then, especially that you wanted to do investigative journalism. Now, you mentioning ukuthi belifundisa obaba ukugqoka ama condom. This is Zimbabwe. Stereotype is rife. Umuntu ongubaba nxa ibona umuntu ongumama, umntwana omncane umfitshana ngaka ezomfundisa ukugqoka condom. How do people receive that?
Ukufacilitate okwe HIV bekubuya kuyi package. So uphonga uqhamuke le condom uqala ugqoka condom like no ukhuluma ukuthi HIV abantu bathelelana njani ukuthi abantu bengazivikela njani uHIV so that way ugain trust yawo kusiya bekhululeka then at the end of the session that is when you demonstrate the proper use of a condom. So every time ngihlala ngile dildo yabona I dildo.
Do you still have it?
So ngithi uma ngihamba
Okay, demonstrate liqhokisa njani condom.
So nangananzelela because ngeke ngawenza futhi lo msebenzi lapha ngithi
yes I've seen that yes
so ngananzelela ukuthi amadoda ukuze pay attention amelanga ngube yime ngimali condom ifike mfundisa umuntu ukuthi condom igqoka njani anti ningamajidali so ifuna ugcwaliselana so mina what I'll do is ngiyathatha I condom le dildo inikeze uguy ngithi akusibonisa ukuthi wena wenza njani then others will correct you then ngihambe ngicorrecta nsiya phambili because amajida amaningi vele umqhubela condom into yokuqala uhlaya ilume umevula so soqondisa from that
I think abaluma ngabembizinkwe
kade uzambuza ukuthi ivula njani
ngikwazi jakweni so umuntu yakona yabona ifuna ukuyiluma so uqala ucorrecta from lapho then uzumbuza ukuthi ibhuti wami condom le ihlala ngapi like uhistora
ngapha emuva ngapha izelisuku
umuntu yayihlale izisuku komunye uthi ihlala phansi kwephilo vele ihlala ired omunye uthi ihlala yabona so yabulungisa khonapho so amadoda amaningi ananzela baqondisana bona bodwa just like lina liyakwazi condom ayilunya until automatically hlela asho lathi condom bakhona abangawaziyo total abazokuphikisa futhi ukuthi akula sikhathi sokuchecka lapho ukuthi eyivulwa ngapi sasithatha ngapi
phela umuntu yatshintsha ingqondo
lokuthi ivulwa ngayiphi side because ungayivula ngeside eli wrong
yes
awungeke kwazi awungekwazi ukuyivula ngoba uyabiphendulelekile
yeah but do you think ukuthi I think this education noma singasoze sihlale uyakhulu sizabe futhi sikhulume is something that also needs I don't know ukuthi I think especially emakhaya or in the black society community if I ask you ukuthi even as a teenager whenever he got laid ukuthi most of the times ingokanhlanzi ithi mina ungananzelela thina umama bethu abaningi bathi
ndoda
these are societal stereotypes umama bethu abaningi we might laugh now and you might find out ukuthi kuba khona kwami umama leyo la wayengafuni but he had no interest at all so khona ukuthi
but they were not educated
ngizama ukubuyisela ukuthi ngwazi umfundisi ukuthi gqoka angithi I'm taking it in a setup yokuthi thina intombi oyikhombisa mawuyikhombisile maybe uyilandele esibhoranini most of the times I romance akubozwane ngapho ayikho hayi emakhaya most of the times kwaku ngizafuna ukuthatha iscenario emakhaya most of the times inkazana yengachaya le 250 kedu 250 lapana zathi hayi mina lokho b angithi so with that I think I condom liqhubeka kahle where there is consent
and we have been educated from
yes and then this goes into both parties in that yokuthi like I'm saying to you most of the times women some don't show interest in honesty they are not interested at all
true
then the guy keeps on pushing up until you give up and then
she gives
you allow
in
him to
for the sake of
you allow him to just do it but ungafuni so in those scenarios chances of a guy taking a condom and doing it the proper way you have
none.
That's why you find them biting it off he's trying to make sure that the chance wenza masinya before even a 10 uzathintisa ikhanda before wena uchinche ingqondo you understand so I don't know what nowadays the 2K generation at least these are people that are open-minded and they can talk to each other but the 90s 80s 70s generation is that generation that it's hard
and we are still in denial
so, it's hard ukuthi ngithi ngilovich so and then I decide ukuthi uthi ngqoke what if engatshintsha nga so manje ngqoka I need to do it as quickly as possible before she changes
I really hope that we'll have a conversation particularly about
on
this topic because kunama topic abantu that think are silly but ayanceda kakhulu because amadoda they go through that because anti sinokwenza khona kwa tavern when you talk about condoms kunale bathi stealthing lapha elivumelana khona lo sisi ukuthi namhlanje sisebenzisa condom sisethi no zalala nayo in condition that sisebenzisa condom then in between umuntu ayikhipha icondom so I rape la it's stealthing umuntu sengavuke siya ku report
because what you agreed on along the way
I consent yakho uyiqamulile sayisaqhubeka so I think we'll have a conversation about if you guys invite
no like as I said Virgie
no as long ngeke libe personal
no
Amanda
but we need conversations on all these things you need to come here and tell us about those conversations that you have in Matave because amajita we stand a chance of also becoming bitter and complaining about we are not given a chance we are not given a chance but you are going around giving people chances but it's a story for another day
that's a story for another
so Kubeka from Lapayana you were still talking about
so ngaqashwa MSF as a facilitator from MSF ngangihamba lapho kungathi kune imali engcono because eZimbabwe at that time economy ayiloki sehla sokudliwa kompinywa na sensebenzela
goal
is also as a facilitator ku Zimbabwe National Family Planning Council but ngangi consultant ngisebenza ama contract ukuthi uyabizwa mzwana kule gap and stuff like that until yaphela igap yami and then that is when I thought of coming lana South Africa
so when you come to South Africa do you have anything in mind in terms of what you were doing back home or you're going to South Africa just like everyone I mean phela nxa sibuya lapha thina yahamba nje you don't know where you're going
so ama organization ebengasebenzele ekhaya because I didn't consult for only these two ukuthi lawa yiwo engahlala khona isikhathi most organization ebengisebenza kuwe ekhaya akhona la so I was looking forward to continuing working for those organizations here in South Africa that is what I had in mind and remember guys githi kwakula ama satellite dish so sasibukela bo yizo sasibukela so mnande picture yami South Africa ukuthi yazini
sezulwini lapha
yazini ngafike egoli ne
ama VCR kwakungena wisitake
nalapha engafikela khona ngathatha uma actually mnathi mbiye egoli ngakwazi ukuthi ngiyafikela kuba ngazijethi nonza fona lo malaisha semfikile because imali yami ayiphelele muso kanti uMalaisha yilabana phela abatshintsha stories elifikile hayi ndoda ngikhiphela imali engendleleni la ubonile hayi
somela ufake
fonela umuntu angina afake enye imali
at least 500 ubonile amapolice asesimiza
la ubonile ndoda ubonile indlela yonke ukuthi bekunjani
and la usendaweni entsha you can't say no
so ngasemfonela omnye umamncane wami emazivele yasla uyobela inkalatha amacoin oyithengisa amaqanda so ama airtime uyala amacoin angaka uyazi lo Malaisha kabalanga oyi 350 athi letha la wona mama uyazihluphekela thatha umuntu wakho lo likambe I remember kayibala ngemali leyana at all wanithatha umamncane wami ngihamba ngahlala kuye uma ngifika umamncane wami behlala emkhukhwini and I remember very well it was raining that day uyazi kunetha ngathola ubaba omncane ebamba ibucket ehleli phezulu kombheda ekhongozela izulu
it's your first time seeing umkhulu
ngathi mamncane ezohlala lapha kumbe ngisazodlula kathi kulawo shombe zazowathi yikho khona mntakasiswami yikho lapha esihlala khona this is reality no but no kulenye igole bengiyiwona ku TV wathi this is reality so mina into eyansizayo anzange ngafuna angafuna uaccept lapha engangikhona I was like no I wasn't destined for this like angibeka ngegoli ukuzodlala ngabe ngale mindset nale no ngisazophuma emkhukhwini and I would say that every morning uma sivuka umuntu mamncane never la lapha ngizophuma mamncane la mangisitsho njalo ngagcina senitunyile wathi la uzafana la mathi no lapha kusindawo yami so basebeqala undingela umsebenzi andiyazi uma uvele egoli vele isihloko into yokuqala bekuzwela umsebenzi sebenza wami oqala if yogoli ngithengisa isinkwa eVonrepom ePitori kunendawo abathi Vonrepom but it's spelled as Wonderpom station
okula maframa
ngithengisela omnye ubhuti was that guy from Senegal he was from Senegal my boss so kumele mbamba isitimela ngo4 ekseni u5 enshayeleni station kwenzela laba abayemsebenzini yabona bengitholise ngire guys ngamvuka because mina nganhlala eMabopane lapha isitimela esiqala khona siqala eMabopane so mele ngivuke by 2:30 bese ngivukile then 4 enshayela esitimeleni so ngangijumeka nilala esitimeleni because ngayejwala impilo le ngidlula istation ngayingumthwalo kuma conductor ngayingumthwalo
So babengazi ukwazi ukuthi lo mina
vele basebewazi ukuthi ndoda ngamvuso ngabafundisi labo nabachumayelayo esimeleni gogo
station sakho
lezi station sakho vele ngibuye mpamela ukuthi siyathengisa and my greatest fears mufike egoli wazi bathi mhlala abantu engafunda lapho
ngibembone
90
degrees nigga what the
that was my greatest fear ngiyacela whoever I'm going to sell to kungabe umuntu ongaziyo even from ekhaya because ngisebenza le mina eshika impilo yami yayingcono
ama NGO phela lapha
impilo yami yayingcono so
yeah
so ngasebenza company ezinkweni but because ngangizijele khona ukuthi angifuni kuphila le mpilo yabo so kanjalo kumarket ngapha ngithengisa izinto ngabona umuntu angathi uphethe kuyibridges ngathi ngamarket nje kade emsebenzini wakho
lenzani
umuntu ambuze ethi ule metric mark metric kuyini kade nalezekhi mani lo form 6
yeah
Canada form 6 I understand then omunye ubhuti ngelilanga he just came through to me. It was on a Friday. He said eMonday emsebenzini wethu kunama interview so ngathola isikhathi ufike kwakuse DSTV South Africa ngoba befuna abantu bama call center la kanye vele ngachiza inkwazi inqunu ngeMonday ngathi yazini this is about my life because ngamfonela umselengalist lona ukuthi ndoda phela isikhathi sami sesishayela wathi no shayisa ngo5 ngathi no namhlanje it's a different day
yeah
shayisa ngo5 the interview ngo10 what job interview because you are in a job ngathi this is not a job I want a real job
bayokholisa malini
imali yakho nayisili like yango live Friday mbo 250 yayisili very mali yakho ndoda mbayikwani lesimela yayikona imali estimela bebhilo kuyirice ukuthi ngicengise komamncane but yayinganyenzela ngofuna athi hayi nkosami no this is not me man bensebenzela ama NGO izinkolo ezinyeza enzazengapheli
too much
abantu ongathengisi nkosami
isinkonzo abantu bazibuna phela emashop esaphandle lesesini
hayi bazuzisa
yo so ngihamba interview I passed the interview ngafika ngasebenza
DSTV
amtshela ukuthi mamncane ngathi kade ben10
yeah apa
mangami injalo
yabona mamncane my first salary ne ngiphuma kona empokono wakho lento yokuqala lingakhangele labo mpuphu nabafishela no namphume emkukhwini first la kanye vele ngathola kuyi RDP ngasuka mina ngathi izulu mali sina so cha ilokho ze RDP vini zenge but ngele RDP ngathi yabo God bless the rain
it's different
it's coming kongafanele ngaloko kukhongozela
so umncane vele wayebamba ibhakede
umncane hayi impicture so RDP yami
lingagcwala ibhakede yenze njani
achithi aphume
phakathi
Pero ngale settlement lana.
I know.
Ilana ema toilet ukuthi like maybe kunama toilet angu the whole settlement.
Lihamba liyo.
So sungalahle ungayi toilet uthi ubuyele back kompa. Ngani wazi udonsa intambo hambo bamba intambo lo. Abanamanga abakhuluma
I've heard about that. Yeah.
Yabonga sakubona imkuku yafana. Even iphakathi ngathi impeda bathenga shop eyi1 ngathi ingubo bathenga.
I remember Queen the floor ne.
Yeah.
Kwangela floor. Kokuyinhlabathi
yeah
so kokufaka these things roller ingani roller paper
we plastic inyana so
lapho kudabuke khona keze kuyinhlabathi you understand
yeah
kaso momoya ubuye sokuyizengi phela ngukule ngani we-tin fish makuchisa uyachisa kabanda
uthulele sungaba lo moya uzisengithi
kwethe uyesaba ukuphuma
kule mkhukhu le uyabothembisa wathu atehlala
abafowethu
ingcono
ngiyano distance
yazi nimkhukhu engafikela kuwo lo ana mfuqamba manga kwauthi uma kuchiswa uzu uthi
yazi
umunye ilanga lo hayi lapha nabe kurap
alama zozinga
so ngasenza ngu RDP ngazibona ngathi hayi I'm now on top of the world yabo
yeah
and then ngahlala company ngisebenza and then umamncane wami wasegula so in between kwamele ngihambe ngiyebona umamncane wami and stuff like that umamncane wami until it came to a point ukuthi umamncane somela hanjiswe ekhaya segula serious so I had to take her back home and unfortunately she passed away so umamncane wami kahlahle ngafikela kuye
she's no more
yeah she's no more then I came back ngaqhubeka ngisebenza company DSTV and into ayishaya lapha ama working hours
okay
So laphayana sasingena phakathi kobusuku sishayise early morning. So yikho lapho kuphuma khona istory sami lese enhleli ngikhuluma ngakho ukuthi mina ngi-survivor of rape. So I'm comfortable in sharing this with you so that people can understand
please go
where I'm coming
please
from.
Share, yeah.
Kudala ngangakwazi ukuyikhuluma ngize ngiqede ngakhala ngaphathi.
Yeah.
Manje I think sentunyile and
I know.
ngiyabona ukuthi akuncedi ukuthi abantu beyohlala besithi sorry
sympathy sometimes.
No, sorry iyambisele emuva.
Yeah.
So sasithanda ukuhayika uma sibuye emsebenzini. So ngabe ngihayika ngibuye emsebenzini. Actually before ngishare lokho ngike ngaba lenkinga yokushare this thing with my former husband. My former husband was like, when are you like telling the world that when you are a survivor of rape, but you never think of me yabona as your spouse. Abantu bazathini ngishada umfazi owarechwayo yabona, when you get all the counseling you need, mina ngizothini ebantwini bangikhaya ngizothini kubangani bami. So uba selfish sometimes whenever you share that. So uma kukhulunywa indaba ezinje, it makes me appreciate my husband.
Yeah. Okay.
Kakhulu.
Chita siyabonga.
Yeah, this husband, not then.
Oh, this.
Kule ngoma ethi mina shadi.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Siyabonga usithathile istandard zethu
Ithele uyakumbuluza guys.
Yeah, vele you deserve it. Yabona umuntu okwazi ukuthi you deserve it. Hayi
noma nje ngisazodinga something esingakuhlanzisa into lezi zemalawi lezi. But hayi istandard ngesethu.
Yes.
Thank you so much. You know, most of the times I always say people that are always giving love, always.
They hardly receive it.
They hardly receive it back. And I think Virgie is in a good place.
It's time she receives it,
It's
bro.
time, come on.
Guys.
Yeah, no weapon are formed against this relationship.
Yes.
Exactly. It's either Virgie or death.
Yes.
Injalo. But ngifuna sike si touch on the basis of ukuthi sometimes pride emadodeni. Sometimes we lose gold because of pride. Sometimes we lose out on opportunities because of pride. Angazi vela kuphi, but it's there kakhulu ku society or community yakithi.
Yeah.
Like with the story that you're telling about your previous husband.
Yeah.
Ekuthini isifo samadoda amaningi almost 9, I can say, I don't know, let me not give an estimate of our percentages, but I'll say most men out there sile pride yokuthi, do you know what men will take pride into maybe having had different women's beautiful ones, but they tend to have a certain feeling when now they get to understand what maybe Virgie XI 20 or 25. To them, to us men, by 25 abafazi kuba ngani ibu hero. You understand? Score komena ingane ngiziphethe. But now when it's the opposite sex, it feels as if value tololo mileage tololo, and the fact yokuthi in this case maybe angazi angifuna umkhulumela ukungithi maybe give him an excuse ukuthi maybe the understanding the pride in him, and then maybe like himself needed some counseling. But as a man sometimes we deny ukuthi we need counseling. We always tell ourselves we are fine.
Okay.
Because you will take that habit to the next relationship again, and it will fail. Because
so you're talking about when the former husband said you are able to talk about this
publicly.
What
so
what about
that
me?
spoke to his pride and dignity as a man. Kube kungani Virgie in this case uyamnqunula or umfaka amehlo abantu ukuthi how could you be with such a loose cunt ikakhulu ngezinto Virgie that you didn't even ask for, you understand, or things that you do not intend ukuthi zenzeke bengasosifiso sakho. So I would say in dealing with that now, you might not understand what maybe nawe udinga usizo. The same sizo akuchoyo ukuthi uVirgie went for counseling. Allow yourself as a person, sometimes you need to do some self-introspection or find people that you can confide with, people that you can talk to, people that will make you understand what sometimes actually kwakumnikeza ubuyihero instead of what he thought ukuthi kumnikeza ukuthi kuyamehlisa. Because right now people bazathi Jof, you are a man, for being able to have the heart and strength to withstand, take this and say, my wife, I do not care. You understand? Mina ngiyakuthanda whether ureche ngabayi 50 ngabayi 100. That on its own kunikeza more pride as indoda, more than running away from irresponsibility. A man that takes responsibility and loves unconditionally kukunikeza this strength. So I'll say maybe sometimes how we view things it affects our judgment. That means tell you to know ngabe loved you for who you are. Even people knowing they know Virgie and went through this, but stuck by you.
So the thing is, I think you mentioned this like in passing. What I'm not going to hit also where I was. Singabo mama sinje, even laba bazo buka le podcast or ababuke le podcast right now. Actually, as women, most of us, if not all of us, are survivors of rape in some way. There are women abakhula kahle abakaze badlwengule omalume bazange babathinta abakhula kahle and all. But uhlala le ndoda ethi namhlanje ngathi yafuna
even yena engafuni
noma ku10 uzomnikeza.
And those women don't know what it's rape.
We have women abathi bona balabo sfara yabo bekhula wasfara laba bayasfara ngoba mama bele ngoba mama bele. That is rape. Where women,
there are a lot of cases like what you're
abafakwa mananza akula holes water la mananza
ufanga iskill
ufanga iskill pa mele mpuza
ifanga iskill mele ifanga iskill asibili siyifuna ngeskill
kulabo mama utholi indoda mbele chayisane ebawo mbele chayisane ngapi ne umuntu akuthatha hambela endlini yakhe wona uthi hayi mina phela nginamali ogibela uma sensiya endlini nomuntu ethi hayi ngicela unishayisa inyawo ngiyakunikeza imali yakho. That is rape. Ofuna ukuproject emsebenzini umuntu ethi mele ulale lami ngumsebenzi umuntu ethi uzugcina umsebenzi wakho ngubhoss wakho ethi lala lami uzogcina umsebenzi wakho. That is rape. So abaningi abamama that go through that but bengawazi ukuthi they are also survivors of free rape. Laba khona aba comment section ababukele lapha. People go through a lot of things but bengawazi ukuthi barechiwe. So sihlangana labantu empilweni esithi ngama partners wethu, are they prepared for the trauma that comes in the relationship with us as the other partners? You understand? But prepared now for that. Because wonke umuntu uza ne trauma abanye ngabaridlwengula bomalume kudala bazamba bakhuluma kuno bakhona that are sitting lezinto ezimbi ezibuhlungu enhlizweni zabo. Ngaye post on my page about izinto ezinjalo yini kahle kahle kuzisa ubuhlungu ongubani ongasozwafa wamxolela. People open up and say narechwa bamdala mina narechwa ngobani indoda kasiswa man rapper izinto ezinjalo. Yabo. So amadoda, you can imagine amadoda ahlangana labo mama labo abahlala labo mama labo. You can imagine my boyfriends wabo.
But
yeah,
who prepares these men
exactly
to deal with your burden?
Exactly.
To deal with your anger, to deal with these incidents that happened to you.
Yeah.
When by merely loving you, I'm automatically subscribing to your problem.
You are saying uzoyimela.
No, but
lapha umfundisi uma sithi kunzima kulula bona inhliziyo nawo sithi
I want us to look into this.
Yeah.
If we become harsh about it to say men this, men that, I know you're not saying that.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to paint a picture. Let me say, maybe my mother wasn't raped, right? And so is whoever is
So
close to me.
you don't know that. That is the thing.
No,
with
let me say,
women,
okay.
with women, you'd never know.
No, I'm talking to say, angas.
Yes,
So
thank
I
you.
cannot say, alright, let me say, my mother, angas, I've
Yes.
never had to. She never confided
Disclosed
to anyone.
Anyone.
So I'm assuming
Yeah.
she was never.
Yes.
Because everything looked
Yeah.
perfect. So now, I've never been taught to deal with such a situation.
A trauma.
I've never dealt with trauma. I meet this person. We meet when there is no trauma involved. Then we initiate this relationship, and then time and again, maybe sometime in Muhammad I discover Uguti, there are things that we're dealing with, such as these traumas that you're talking about.
Yeah.
And is it not maybe responsibility here to song to help each other deal with this? Because I've got to deal with it as well. Because the same way I'm dealing with it, I've got to come to, I need a certain support.
Whereas if I open up to you,
exactly.
Ungena good relationship with us.
Yes, exactly. Then some people, they will not divulge this. They will not talk to their partners, or even maybe they will talk to strangers, or I'll have a way of finding out, not from you. Then I react in a different way or in a certain way because maybe I've never been part of that, and I've never experienced it, and it has allowed me to feel how it has made me feel. And then let's help each other now to deal with it. I know you're also dealing with it, but also in you understanding that you're a victim, understand that I'm now also a victim of having to deal with trauma.
Yes.
Where do we meet each other?
So, like mina empilweni yami, in all honesty, go wonke ama-exes ami and all, you'll never hear me even one day ngisithi ubani wangonela yikho ngamshiya. Never. Lami nginje ayikho perfect. Lami nginje ngilama imperfections wami. Because nami I have certain anger issues, nami nginje ngingazale mbona enhlekelela lambiza bomacala impatient and all.
Yeah.
Nami ngilama feelings at the end of the day. I'm human. So mina noma kuthiwa kukuphi ne omama ngiokay ngabo, you can never in your life even ask people that are in my circle ngiyokungithola nsilwa lo muntu ongumama elifeini, but umuntu oyindoda mfuna isiphikisane kanengi, like they provoke that. So what people do not understand, okay, let me go back to that issue so that you can understand. Yeah. So mina what happened is even litshela ukuthi bese hayika sisuke emsebenzini because besebenza ama odd hours and all. So one day sagibele enye imoto kati abantu abanatira have good intentions. So on a normal day maybe ngilala emotweni, like maybe njumeka no noma yipi imoto esihayikile maybe njumeka because maybe ngigcinela vele ukuwehliswa because maybe ngihlala kachana kunabanye. So on that day ngandlele futhi as usual into abantu bazathi sebemvusa okugcina uma seyehla nguyomvusa ndoda sozafika like vuka. I was waiting for that, but mina ngathi semphapha ngathola sesingathi sesigangeni, and that day anza ngavuswa yilabe ngihamba labo semvuswa ngezibhamu lani yabona sisesigangeni indawo yakhona it's a bush area sungathi siyarojwa yabona. Yes. So laphana actually sasibangaka, I think sasiwu 5. It was 2 women and 3 guys.
Yeah.
Esebenza now. So we were just squashed. We try 4x4 try double cap. Yeah. Abanye ukuthi babethwaleni. So uma sifika laphayana mina yonke into yami yayislow because na ngivela ebuthongweni. So wabona like yabuyisithutha, like I'm trying to digest what kwenzakalana. So uma besidlalana phansi and all, like mina ngigcinela because you confused and vele ebuthongweni angwazi kwenzakalana. Bahle bamaka mina. Yabo. Atlo atholo yazenzi sona sisona ngathi uyazitshela kahle ngathi ngumthwalo. And those guys I'll never forget babekhuluma isitswana. kumbe isuthu kumbe isitswana ukuthi I can't differentiate
yeah
babekhuluma so babesithi wona kahle niyazitshela ini wena kahle we're going to teach you a lesson so phakathi kwabantu bonke ababekhona kwathiwa lo mama lo ongathi uyinkinga so phakathi kwabantu bonke I'm the only one who was raped. I was actually stepped because ngangisilwa and also I was stepped and I was raped. I was gang raped, yes. So when I was gang raped, banthatha phakathi kwabo, there were 4. Banthatha phakathi kwabo, phakathi kwabantu bonke ababekhona, suthi labantu ababashiya esigangeni. Mina ngiloko ngisa problem child yabo according to them. So that is why so there are certain things that men say to me that provoke enye side yami like enhlanyisa like ngiyahlanya once you say that because when I was being raped they said certain things to me. Ukuthi angeke ngikwazi ukusho lapha but kule gama belisebenzisa kakhulu lokuthi angazi liyenza yini lokho ucishe ibala
no khuluma lana
like ngambizwa ngesifebe yabo
noma yini into efuna
ngambizwa
podcast yabantu
I was my advantage podcast but ngambizwa ngesifebe yeah isifebe leswhat so mina to this day like umfuna ungithola like imbiza njalo like ilanga lami la spoileka yabo ngiyakaze mfebela ngaze ngenze lutho na just khona ukuthiwa hey ngistubborn ngislow wathola abantu bahle bamaka banthatha bamphosele emotweni and they drove with me bahamba lami ngapha I have step-ons I'm bleeding and then all of a sudden ngabona kuphikiswa so wabona abantu bephikisana impilo yakhe simqedelele nano singamqedelele warara besaphikisa nomunye waphonga uvule umnyango wemoto and wabampushela phandle imoto ihamba so I was thrown out of a moving car like literally
shit
you see
so how do you
from there I was gaining consciousness and like fainting but ngiyakhumbula nje imoto like ziyenza kanje yabo and I was praying to God ngabe uNkulunkulu yahle uthatha impilo yami like ngabenza ngabe kuyabuya nje imoto e1 inyathele that is what I wanted like ngisaphilelana like impilo yami after this izoba njani that is what I wanted ngiyami impilo yabo so then next thing yezo semvuswa ngathi mvuswa ama paramedics yabo ngathi semvuswa yes stay awake mbheka ungavala amehlo ngazama shemuki so into like you know I always like to make a joke out of this because I'm funa ukunlimaza kakhulu so into engichaza ngamna natural like joy angazi umuntu okuhleka
that's you
so into engichaza ngalokho nganthengi ayingaze ngihlanyiswa ukusebenza DSTV sengihlale RDP ngathanda ukuthenga amalabeli so ngithenga ijini esisiboy ngigqoke nje i-jeans skirt yayingesisiboy ifishanyana so paramedic uzama ukuyikhipha ukuthi bakwazi ukulokhu zingangigwaze phakathi komlenze uzama ukukhipha ukuthi basheshe
yes
la igazi liphuma khona so ngibona umuntu ukhipha inkalakathe esigero like I don't know paramedic this is a boy jeans
wesini
boy cala wasike jeans
ngisiboy
yabo that woman laughed and she was like no siswami ngizobuya la jeans yakho Horror ngizokuthenga ijini wawaru
bantu
the next thing ngazemvuke and yazi mama lo wayengikhumbula because she did come to the hospital like kulama paramedics guys asithatha serious
yes
wangithengela ijini yami I do not want to lie say laliswe empi yeah that is why she was reminding me ukuthi phela ndobukhalela sisiboy so ngithenge ilethe like South Africans guys are petty amangamawe like lona washema ubuya sisiboy
it was good
so next thing semvuke sensesibhedlela sesibhedlela mama sesibhedlela first thing amanesi ayelapho kulomunye wamvula ingubo wathi bemfuna ukubona umuntu lo rich ogqokeni yini emangalisayo ngayo
no man
rekwereleli like ekhuluma into ayesifuna bezayikana nje ukurepa wena ubugqoke yiloko zeniskete esinje yabona izinto ezinjalo so guys yabona amagama kanesilona is what activated or provoked the activism in me like when she said that ngakananzethi activist
you say uthi
until
try calling ubizo vele lokwenza so sesingathi why senze it wrong but why
blessing in disguise
ukuthi azovusa something in you
that's a woman
it actually provoked the activism
saying that to a woman
Yeah, she actually said that to me. And as I thought it, no, lokho kuzadlula kube lokunye ebhokungcono maybe ngisazophatheka ngcono. So like if you're a rap survivor, I'm sure bakhona ama rap survivors that are watching. Uyahamba for lokho kwama DNA ukugcwalisa ama JE form lawo. La bathatha khona ama samples ama sperm samples of perpetrators and all. There lakho kushithi labana bangale batshela labana ukuthi kule nkalakathe ekore la enjanje like angazi lapha kwakulomoya onlandela imagine 19 inhlukunyezwe ngelaba nogayi bakhethe mina bathi mina ngilenkani njani abizwa ngisifebe lana esibhedlela futhi kuma kwemina like everyone else right like uma kwemina yabo so langale wavula imlenze ukwanisela uvulela amadoda wonke lawa like bethatha ama samples lana and all I was like oh no god
no man.
So mamncane wami so what happened is yo guys like
yeah no
It's fine.
so remember mamncane wami lona washona so sokulo baba omncane wami uyayisesela indoda yakhona then umastanda nguye like ngayimbiza mamncane nguye wabuyayo ezombona ngabe nisithi kumastanda yazini ebuyezombona ngathi mina I do not want to be in this hospital, please move me to another hospital, I do not want to be here. I was okay, let me just find out how the process is ngathi no abantu labazongiqedisela because lokhu bekhuluma izinto la mamncane mina engazizwisisiyo what no ngizodinga iprocess yakho into yenziwa njani ukuthi ngishifte definitely vele ngizokushifta from la so wase yenza iprocess yakho I think in the morning okay before she came in the morning so ngangile because I had stitches all over remember ngangikwaziwe qeda ngangile ama plaster because I was thrown out of a moving car and all ne so doctor had prescribed try morphine
yes
so morphine ngokuyilana ukuthi doctor wayethe inyingezo sokubuhlungu ngipress button mele kube lona sobuya apampe yapampa then into lana ingene ku system so ngithi every time I press button kusebusuku yo ngithole ora ama sisters mbabhalele lapha khona izosihlukumeza lapha what so ebusuku bonke ngabona every time nginga press button amanje slave uyantshela indaba zami ithi ngibambelele ipain le like ithi ngibambelele ngizobona ukuthi kuzoyenzakalani and shame ngaqinisela so at times beyangeke bodwa bethu umuntu lo selesikhathe ngalokhuzi yabona bazibuyele bodwa bafike bemphampe that thing then in the morning that is when master lo imbuza ngomamncane came and she was like asengitholile indawo kuzomela so mele last is discharge sesayina amaphepha and then I don't know mamncane I'm not leaving this hospital I've decided I'm not leaving this hospital
why
do you know but I don't know ngifuna ukuhlala la because ngambona ukuthi akusiyimi ngedwe ngamphathwa njalo even South Africans ababekhona laba bebadingela inkinga nje laba ba mistreat
yabona it was just bad people working
ababengafuni nje umsebenzi wabo and then mina laba abantu ababekhona South Africans themselves were like guys like uma abantu besimistreata where do we go we all didn't know how to go about it ukuthi kwenziwane and all so nahle ngasitshela ngathi uma mphuma la into yokuqala enzoyenza like ngifuna find out ukuthi umuntu umemistreat esibhedlela uyanga kahle ukwenziwa njani yabo so ngathi ngifuna abangishaye njengoJesu bamshaya amadola benze no Judas bempiwe ukhale amaqudeka 3 and all but at the end of the day I just want to enjoy this so that uma mphuma la
you have the knowledge
ukuthi ngiyenza njani
so where do you
guys
go?
It was hectic and at that time I'm trying to speak to the investigator I know police I will take my statement abo
so
I'm calling the investigative officer ndoda phela kade awufa abantu labana aselibatho Nobuhle I told you I'll call you you don't call me I'll call you wow okay so eventually I discharged from esibhedlela sent discharged from esibhedlela senzama ke manje ukudinga ama organizations asebenza ngezinto ezinjalo and at that time ngongakabi okay of course oGoogle babekhona and all but babengakabi as sophisticated as they are like right now yabo and uzuye internet cafe to take ages ukwazi ukuguglisha and all so I used to rely on people to help me with information laying ngabe ngifuna but ngabe nsithi no, okay, let me put everything on hold. Now I'm following up on my case now. Yabo. I'll follow up on the case. Investigator ngithonga mfonela mina ngizakufonela what. Ngathi no. Ngayichuchisa indaba. Ubaba lona wagcina sithi phela ngabe lokhu ubusy ngami uyandemoralize now end up like shoving your case like ngiphume kuwo. Kanti uNkulunkulu uyasebenza. Do you know what happened? My investigative officer owakho umntwana warechwa by the same guys as Buyele Tavern.
No.
By the same guys, that is what happened. By the same guys. So you call up a case as it's serious. Kanje Nobuhle ngasemfona. Kanje uthe ubhuti abana babenjani?
Serious.
Kokulo munye urasta the artist police station yakho. Uniyamchaza ukuthi umuntu okona yena dobesi yakhe.
uNkulunkulu wami wasejolo.
Enurasta zimlindi wemela bekhona last week.
Urasta ku police station. But ngamangala uma sokulokhu wakhe umntwana. Ngosokule artist yamaqini yabona lawo thangobanda abadweba bamaqini yabo.
Awurasta guys.
No urasta ngamaqini ebuqineni bakhe ngifaka lo maqini wamaqini.
Oh maqini.
Lona what wrong at umuntu lo yazi fitile description yomuntu lo like close to uyabona. Then lona investigative officer uhlathi akusho wena atlahle ngikufundela le case wabiza labanye labanye sasilabo and also sasihamba sisenza amathu ama parade identification parade.
Yes.
Nampo satanela bayilabo. Then they were arrested and kuchitshwa emakhotu wenziwani and all until they were convicted. And let me tell you what I'll never forget, like a court. So a court we were given before into judge yenzi ama lawyer ethathi hamba lekhuluma lifaka umfutho lana. Mina ngakhuluma kusenhlizweni yami I wasn't workshopped on what to say. I refused to be. I mean, I always refused to be workshopped. Like you guys train workshop.
Yes.
Angivuma kula muntu ontshelayo
Yeah.
ukuthi ngithini la ku presidential summit bakhona basithi we need to workshop you president. No.
Ukhuluma izinto ongazazi.
Ukhuluma into ekhona.
Yeah.
Ngabatshela ngathi mina these guys okay I'm happy ukuthi sebe convictwa and sebe suspenda the rest of their lives ejail. It's fine. But abantu laba mina bambulele emphila kahle. Do you know when someone rapes you
they take a piece of you?
Okay.
That's one.
When someone rapes you they take something in you ekutshintshayo for the rest of your life. Yabo? Mina abantu ababengazi before mbuye egoli bayethuka manje ukuthi lo nje yabona. So le enga nje necessary awusawazi ukuba secure endabeni uzothanda guys kunini like yikho nje manje ngishade ngoba guys it's a lot like it takes someone okuthandisisayo to actually stand you. So umuntu onjalo bekubulele like umuntu yakubona that feeling umuntu mekutshontshela ifone majidele yazi that feeling umuntu tshontshela ifone umuntu check ifone awuselayo that feeling it's actually thrice that or 12 times that esukufeel after we are raped. So
and this is physical because the phone is different. It's a position that you can.
Yabusithi ayisazoyithola phe but kulezinto ezilahlileyo joy. Kulezinto even iGoogle what yeni lama photos angeke zikuthole okukade kusefonini umbuku usuthenjisa umsebenzi yabo.
That message is gone.
That is what I told abo magistrate ukuthi mina abantu laba mina phela bambulele emphila and I believe ukuthi I've changed and lami yazibona sentshintshile not for the better but sekungenze ngaba like senhlanya like ukuthi anything yenza ngizoyenza with obsession saying obsessed ngalokho sengikwenza if ngizadila ngendaba yokudlwengulwa kwabomama ngizoyenzisisa if ngizodila ngento enjani ngizokwenzisisa and thanks to these guys I remember I said that.
Didn't this make you hate men in general?
So
labanganzanga lutho
with
and
men
let's say also adding that with the ones that you end up maybe being in a relationship with, didn't they pay the price?
So with men ngenhlanhla ngithi like uma kunjalo vele the protocol is that
you get counseling
yeah mina madoda in all honest and lankinga nayo that is why libona embassies abaningi amadoda.
Yes, you don't choose.
Mina indoda engisuka ngibe le problem nayo I think I still need healing for that. Like ombiza amagama abantu labambiza ngawo.
Aha, because they're taking you
That
back.
is the
Those
only
are
time
flashbacks.
that I reacting izwa ngathi amadoda angazwisisi.
You start seeing the
Kuphela.
same people
Like if it's
that you
anything else-
relive the moment.
Yeah. If it's anything else in sharp joy, like
I think
no ngathi fusek no ngathi no
Yeah.
is sharp. But once watch amagama lana uchitha ngizibona like sumbisela because after that happened ngazibona sengidethi like ngingcolile and also kuthi sumbisela lapha nokungcoleni kwami. Yabo ansasafe lama magama after that. If anyone were to tell you abantu engeke ngalwa labo kakhulu ngamadoda ayabe esho amagama lawo. Lalapha ngisala ndaba ukuthi great masterio mbunjani like lapho nje ngazi.
I think ngibambe khonapho you have always been honest about that.
Yeah.
As your friend for the past more than,
More than
13 years
yeah.
now. 13 years, if
Yeah.
you may precise. You have said that, and I appreciate the fact that okazufihle how you feel about people that say things like this, and there are things that you don't have a problem with because you have to understand
Yeah.
ukuthi this is normal, this is society,
Oh,
people
ukwatile,
communicate. Yeah.
kulokwenye
But kulezinto that you can't take, and the vele, I mean, the moment you start trying to overlook that, uyabusukamba manga. So I love ukuthi uthe wena there's quite a lot that we need to talk about.
Yeah.
And this is your home. This platform, we are allowing you to once in a while come back and talk about different things. So
yimi ngedwe embizwa lapha. Yimi
Yes.
ngedwe kuthiwa vuya.
yebo,
Lina abanye likela kubona nyemu. Phinda futhi joy ayiphindi. Abazwa.
ngifuna ukuliphindela ngithi uVirgie has got permanent residency here.
Amandla.
Campro Studios ngifuna ulifaka on the spot. There is a project that uVirgie is it's in her heart. And so ngiyikhuluma ukuthi yini. We are kindly looking for a security company that would like to come bezogada ama camera because the program yakhona has to happen overnight. I'm not going to explain what it is, but it is going to
It has always
happen.
been. She always talks about.
Bruh.
The
The 2 year 2 years talking about the program.
It must happen.
It must happen. We're looking for a security
Just a security
company
company?
that will say we are going to be there armed, look after you guys, but we'll come back and explain what it means for her to her, as she just explained Uti what she went through. Virgie, from there, you get out of hospital, you go and look, because
Yeah.
what do you go to in terms of finding information? Ukuthi umuntu ohlukunyezwe uhamba lapha ahambe lapha. The activist in you is now activated and motivated.
Yeah, so after the hospital thing, I decided to, I feel like I didn't want that job anymore. Like I want ukuthi no kulabantu omele guys basinakekele emsebenzini esiyenzayo. Like if uzosebenzisa abantu abesuku badingela transport.
Yes.
Babe secure, and also I didn't want to go back there. Yabo. And so after that I decided to affiliate myself with organizations that have everything or anything to do with humanitarianism. Everything and anything to do with vulnerable groups. So I joined organizations afana labo, and I was working voluntarily.
Yeah.
Abo Migrant Workers Union. Lapo, the reason why I joined that union was I know there are a lot of migrants that are exposed at work, that are underpaid, that are
When you have
just
contracts.
yes, abasebenza iminyaka
Odd
for years,
hours.
ababaholisa mzwana ubose ethanda
Efila
izinto
ukuthi
ezinjalo.
abaholise.
So abantu bona ngatrainwa ukuthi sikwazi ukubamela CCMA and stuff like that. So ngabakwazi ngathiki
Before
box.
You just a quick one. Especially, I think this is a problem that we still have in the society. Kakulu for migrant workers. Is the union still active?
Yes, the union is still active. Actually, banjongo comrade Cindy Solo, comrade Mandla. So
there are things that, especially migrants, don't know. Ukuthi, you have got even a right to go to CCMA. Ungela even my papers. They won't arrest you. They will look into your case and they will assist you.
even if from yokuqala oyisayina CCMA akula lapho kubuzwa khona your migrant
documents.
status
Exactly.
ukuthi lamaphepha mbolo akula lapho.
Exactly.
So let me tell you ukuthi abelungu kulabanye abayithusela bethi no ungazohamba uyembophisa okusala kuyabotshwa wena, it's a lie. Actually kuyabotshwa yena ukuthi uqhashe wena esazigathi ukuthi wena awulamaphepha.
3 months.
Yes.
You have not been paid what is due to you. You don't get your leave, those prescribed 21 days. You don't get your benefits as an employee. You have got every right to approach the CCMA. They will never ask for your ID, passport, or ID. They are going to handle your case like that.
Yeah.
So don't be intimidated by employers who come to you. Beti kuwe, so report a paper. These are not paper. This it's your responsibility.
So yes, injani Labor Act. Umuntu ekuthola unqunu ungela amaphepha ungela lutho. Wakuqhasha ungela amaphepha. Uma sekuqhashile kuthi uthi automatically ukufaka ebantwini abalamaphepha. Angazi ngakube kanjani. Ukufaka ukunikeza ama rights abantu bonke abalamaphepha. Because uma sewubheka indaba yakho ubheka under umuntu wonke legal in South Africa labor wise. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So lingalivumi umuntu esithi hey ngoba olamaphepha siyakubophisa oyoma phase iyafika eCCMA ayikho leyo nto. Actually umlungu wakho once raise leyo nto into yokuqala bazombuza into umqhashe njani usazi kahle ukuthi akala amaphepha uyosala eselenking
ngasebenza ungela contract.
I can give you
mawakwazi ukubala
yeah
cela omunye okwazi ukubala
yeah
akubaleli contract yakho.
Thank you.
I don't think ukuthi Virgie waya ku Facebook yakho ukuthi dadewethu ngiqhatshiwe la manje kule document abanisendele yona ngiyazi ngicela ukukusendela yona umbalele nje kuphela unje ethi yikho yini ungadvise because that was because a lot of people end up becoming slaves because they don't understand their rights.
Modern slavery.
They don't know, especially migrant workers. Thola ngibevale besenze imisebenzi day night and that.
Ngede yokuhola umlungu abizi home affairs.
Exactly. Because they were one
already home affairs athi
and asingathi home affairs because the proper home affairs doesn't work like that.
Yeah,
criminals
the bogus
in the name of home affairs.
Yes,
yeah,
true.
Exactly. Because home affairs knows the proper procedure. These ones
law
that pounds on people.
Yeah.
These are criminals.
Unnecessarily.
Exactly. Yeah.
So now this is like there are 10 episodes from what you are saying where you have to come back and unpack the rights of a migrant worker or a normal foreign person who is in a foreign land, because abaningi they see themselves as angatabana ma rights because they're in a foreign land, because they are not documented, because of all these other things that contribute to this whole shebang. So usu discover le information, you start now working with the vulnerable groups, helping people. When does it really hit you, Wuti, I need to go full force, professionally, get training, and go into this?
It actually hit me when I was in that hospital bed. Only I didn't have the resources and the experience and all the information ebenge phone. So ma sengiyithola information le ngathi no kushuthi mina senzoba yi referral desk, help desk uthi anyone le problem emsebenzini uza kimi ole problem esibhedlela o denied. Let me tell you kukho konke lokho engikhuluma ngakho benginga traineli for ama migrants kuphela. So ngithi vulnerable groups, like people that are taken advantage of. Remember, there are people with disabilities. There are South Africans abalana but knowledge ayikho and people take advantage of that. And also ngimela wonke ama groups and allow this one I want to make specific clear. So ngaqala usebenza ngakho ngajoina lama groups awe gender based violence. I was trained, I got my certificates and lezi zinto ezinjalo, but konke lokho bengingakuholeli. So I think ngiqala uhola sekule yabo aqala uhola sekule, but ngangisithethe no okuqhaqhathekileyo manje information because cabanga senzithi semfuna ukuza thoya ini group eyama camera i team yena
Campro studios
ngithi ngicela ngisebenza lana eMachita but ngicela liholise every month angeke baze bavuma but ngicela ukubona ukuthi lisebenza njani lenza njani abantu libasiza njani ngatsho njalo people will accommodate you ukumela lo ecamera ukumela esound ukumela lo one yayithola information yonke oyifuna then you pass it on to a community that you are saving so that is what I decided to do ngiyami impilo ukuthi no let me dedicate my life to abantu labake balala empedeni njengami o abantu abake bahlutshwa emsebenzini o abantu abake bayenzana so yikho lapho sengikhona so okunye yakwazi like isinyama singakulandela kawana hlahlala sokulandela ngaba lesinyama senecessary rape ngaba lesinyama sokucoshwa indoda so kwaba le event gender summit so kulesikhathi omama kade behlukunyezwa bebulawa ngamadoda kakhulu mama labantwana ngomunye umnyaka I think it was in 2018 somewhere there bebulala labo uyinene yamkhumbula isistona yami emaphasele post office wabulawa abebetholakala emafridgini and stuff bebulawa ngamadoda so women came together but no we need to address this with the president ayeko abomama behlala behlukunyezwa bebulawa kangaka yabo so at that time because I was an activist I'm from my side nabemele abomama babuya phandle basebecela mina bathi sicela u represent omama babuya phandle if you were to share even your stories and with the president I'm sure ukuthi kungakusiza if you were to share your challenges as a migrant woman generally like South Africa it's going to help you so ngasengenza njalo ke ngathi no lingamfaka lapho bathi no sizobiza president ayenza gender summit like kube lama survivors azo represent different sectors women from urban areas women from toyini la ama group la abomama la basebenzayo women living with disabilities women living with albinism izinto ezinjalo mina ngakhetha ukuthi ngimele umama ababuya phandle and I was married at that time to ubhuti womzulu so yikho lapho engafika khona ukumtshela ukuthi indoda phela lapha ngathi kuzaba le gender summit and I think this is going to help in my healing if singakhuluma ngakho ngikwazi ukuthi at the end of the day kuzasiza umama ababuya phandle I think I really need to do this and he was like will this be live on TV ngathi no everything that has to do with the president man
is going to be on TV
it has to be on TV and WCGPV is the most talked about a subject like South Africa right now obviously so when Zambia khuluma lapha publicly about the fact that you are rape survivor and stuff like that so uthi abangani bami bazathini so uthi family yami izathini so this guy said no you better choose between umendo wakho nomsebenzi wakho yabo so at that time like I was caught in between because indoda ngiyayithanda umendo wami yabo umsebenzi wami ngiyawuthanda and lapha embuya khona I had to do something about la embuya khona so this was the only chance and time besingafaka ama migrant women endabeni ye-NSP sokudala kuthiwa i-National Strategic Plan nge-Gender Based Violence if ingavelanga lapha nabomama awengeke bafakwe ku-National Strategic Plan so ngathi okay let me look for any other woman ozimisele ukwenza lokho sadinga
laswela
akula omama abala amaphepha anti yakwazi like umuzo yabona upresident wamba uqala kube lento ethiwa i-accreditation la uhambisa umuntu wakho becheck ukuthi le criminal record amaphepha ka right and stuff like that akula muntu wayefuna ukuyimela at that time umama babesaba so ngabe ngathi no but this is part of my healing like let me be selfish for
you need to go and
ngisebenza labantu let me be selfish and ngenye indlela futhi angisithi abalo mephula amanga la kulo muntu ongayalela umuntu
ayisiduduza
ayike njalo
yabuchayi uhamba
umshado losivela kachana yebo ayikanyaleli into enjalo ngaqungisibini and I went for that gender summit let me tell you usathana utesta njani abantu lekusathana usebenza njani ku gender summit basibhukhela ama hotel hayi okudlala and kulama 5 star number 6 star
yes
I won't forget that hotel it's a Southern Sun in Pretoria
Arcadia
lapho ukuthi
ungavuza ama hotel
hayi lalelani mina ndilami ngingaba ku summit kuma presidential what qhubeka Virgie nyawazi
ubabuzile abantu emaglasini yakwazi
Southern Sun ngiyayazi
hayi emaglasini
one was live
le hallmark
kula maglass
ihallmark anti
Okay.
Sizawubuya sibuyele
So,
lo joke.
ngokusathana le plan yempilo zethu, ne? Basibhukhele Southern Sun. Southern Sun ihotela guys enzima.
Proper.
Ile
International standards.
Ilama buffet as serious not lokho abantu umngqusho like ama buffet as serious tafula la beqala phela umgono kodwa
Uyazichuzela ukuthi ufunani.
Kona kuza tafula siyaphela.
Yeah.
So lapha nokuthi ungashiya impahla zakho nje uthola ziwachiwe. Athi uyafuna endlela into beyale washing basket. Beyale washing basket yonke.
Bazowasha lapho.
Lapho wajelo ayinelo la.
I had the time of my life and lize libone so lo wayehlala eroomini like mina lo mikulo mama engangiclose nayo ethiwa nguphindi uphindi la went through what I went through but okwakhe kwaku different because uphindi warechwa ngabafana abancane like abahlala duze nakuye and they used ama plastics to wrap ama plastics esinkwa so they didn't have condoms and they decided to use then bathi beqeda ukusebenzisa lokho ngapha bamgwaza and they shoved ama plastics.
I think I heard is this on that later on
she's the one she passed on
yeah
uye lo wathi ekhuluma lo president wazophakamisa wathi uyabona ukuthi ndama station ku president mama lona asashare the same room so on that night day before eka president we sat down and actually talked about this and I told the Pindi, do you know what mina umshado wami ungaphela namhlanje and angazi ngenza and she was like no kulesikhathi la umele ube selfish you're not doing this for your husband you're not doing this but you're doing this for generations to come ulo mntana oyintombazana if ungayilungisanga le ama migrants umntana wakho can be a migrant futhi naye la eSouth Africa and la yabe senkingeni so nasitsho twenzela umntana wakho yabona so lami I took it upon myself nisibindi mina but ukuthi uzavulele kaza ngwanitshela ukuthi uzafike nqono
so when my sisenza njalo wafila njani ukuthi umuntu lo phela we were talking I'm sure you were shocked.
Yo, I was so shocked to Pindi like la ungantshela ngala ngabe mphakamisa Pindi kungabe ngoyo wedwa thwali spotlight yawo
yeah
so sahamba vele so day before kwathiwa kule meeting day before I summit so kwaba labo mama babe EU labana so they were promising us stuff don't worry after the summit we're going to make sure that you guys get psychosocial support sizali cancela so izalokla lokhu lingawari but we need to workshop you umali for president lingayenzi so mele lenze so nobuhle ufuna ukuthi no ngakhuluma so mele ukhulume so the princess was sesifuma ko
liwazi
hotel umama la basihlangile
so like lapha yana phezulu kunezinto where people get workshopped
people are actually workshopped
and you end up not being yourself
so actually sometimes workshop ku positive in such a way ukuthi babe kubona ukuthi no into le uzoyikhuluma ibe light ongagcizeleli so ukuthi into yakubele weight hayi ndoda ungayangisi umongameli yehlisa lapha yenza 1 2 3 njenganje unguyikwerekwere ngakhuluma so nje passport uyabhana lo yabo kuyakhuluma izinto ezinjalo so phinde wathi no ayikho le nto thina siyazi into esiyilandile la Nobuhle I hope it didn't buy from what those women were saying yabo so vele ilokho zenini yabakhona summit yakuba khona basilayinisa sakhuluma ngokulomunye umama lizayibona summit yakhona like please guys post it to comment section it's on YouTube actually ngapho uthi gender summit 2018
I know it
sibona sonke simile sikhuluma so bonke mama bakhuluma we didn't get the counseling esasithi sayabesithembise yona esasibacela ukuthi sayifuna bazamba sinikeza yona like people totally forgot about us so after that we had to move on with our lives uphinde wabuyela kube thembisa naye to go back to my husband
what happens when you get home
like into lena iphumanga only on SABC awuthi ungavula Al Jazeera sikhona uvula BBC
it was all over
uvula sikhona so ndotamile BP ngaka vele kafuna ukukhuluma
at the time mina ngona mamo angila ama contacts ka Virgie yamdinga ngoba sengimbone ku TV
ndoda
angimtholi la ku Facebook ake so ku busy everyone is looking for her continue
so fika endlini ndoda ayifuna ukukhuluma and also la ngizama ukuyishaya phela thina singabo mama weve
yeah
la wephela anti bengenza lo mama laba abanye la kathi yini kathi
ehlisa umoya
ehlisa umoya kathi yini phela
yamaqili
so ngenze njalo ubaby la engathi uyehlisa umoya my then baby ka ungazondi current
no this is yes
no
yeah
so at that time ayehlisa umoya sibe ngathi si right but at that time because of that trauma le ngandlule kuyo I had to take antidepressants and sathola psychosocial counseling. Remember it wasn't only me sharing my story, it was other women that went through worse than what I went through.
So you are now carrying
now
also those patterns.
I'm carrying those patterns now like so
yes.
So unengi yabona so undothi ngathi yadlulisa ngathi seyi right yabona sesi right yelena ngasihlele endlini vele anti vele sithanda bo news phela sithanda news masithi siyathi sibona special assignment idlala futhi idlala clip like kanti waye esebhizi lingazange lingonishe ngibona vele okay kachinji channel into umdala what really ngiyabona lo yokukumana ndoda nje ebhanzi la kovundo yala ibhanzi la kovundo
elikukumana ulibhekile
yo
what does it do after that
so sabuyela ndoda back to la phana vele sokuxatsha
siqale phansi
ngokutshela Nobuhle lase Al Jazeera mshoba sokudlala la kusasa la kaphi Nobuhle why you doing this to me yabona manje lo mama uyafona Nobuhle ulenkani yabona sokuliwa vele endlini akusekho right so ngelinye ilanga lami ngambonti phela lapha ngisafuna kahle yabona umfazi yabonti la ma signs la sengu 5 to
yeah
so kuphela so ngisiyathenga ama antidepressants am one driver ngihambisa lapha ngithenga esipasa seBetrams ngifika lapha ngisathi ngisa order ama depressants ami ngithola imessage efonini mamvula iWhatsApp yami ngona ubhala imessage engaka part of the message was saying kule sentence engeke ngikhohle but at the end of the day the truth is I have cancelled your access to the flat building ngicela nje ungasanhluphi ngicela umuphuma khona phe sipa ubona uthi uyangaphi.
No.
He didn't even have the guts to call me. Look, kwabuya kuyi SMS. Mdalo. Ngasitshela ngathi maybe message there.
So this message was probably written days back, kept and then
ukuthi
zomthumela ngathola chance
standard endini. So mina la manje yabona la kumuthola message enjalo. Uyabule shock ngabe nikeza i-pharmacist ngathi ndoda ngicela ungifundele message. Phela bongathi uhlala ndoda ngicela umbhalele kanti ubaba lo uthini
pharmacist ayisokujika
abesithi kanti lixabene lo baba kwakho ngathi cha ngisi right ngiyonilethela awuthi akasakufuna
sokujika
uzoyapi sisimubuya la guys don't do that like why are you asking me that angikwazi ngizoyapi hayi sisingcono uphuthume nje uyecheck ukuthi kutheni yazi ngiyo amaphilisi lapha nangatshontsha because I remember ngiqhubela amaphilisi ngakhohle ubhadala lana
but also ngiko right ekhaya
kodwa ngigijima so from Betrams Spa all the way to Dorfont like actually
close to years
afika kona phana ngathi ngisafika anti lawazi ama security la especially obhuti bangikhaya labo bad boys ohlwana land hayi umthetho uvumo
ezangithi mangizoza ukubambisa umthetho
lesizwe lesingaqondanga
kaza ngoba igroup lead esikolo zawa iprefect
sethole indlela yokuthi aphathe
you give them responsibility or uthola sulamandla ukwenza
lo to power
avele umuntu
kufana akula muntu xenophobic njenge Zimbabwe
yebo soxoxa elinye ilanga
kule mhlobo yabantu bakitha bona amaphepha
they are so xenophobic
yo sebulala ngenzondo lezo
but it's a story for another day you go back to it later
zapipha lezo zapipha
Phela
zona zabe zikubamba ku network so izwi
ziyabe zikuza usithi khathesi
ziyakwazi
uthi sithi vele
sibili sure khona apho ya
Mama ya.
Maniliche. Zahlala ePretoria. Angeke umzulu. Umjito omunye befike sithi udriver njalo ekhathana le mina. Okay. So wathola koyibi ngedenzile wayena ngazanga.
No guys.
Kubeka bithi.
Avela sobe wathi umthetho uvumi sisi ukuthi usonde.
Ngeni kalokho apha.
Ngoba nje umuthi namanga zami fingerprint isibonto uzongena. Nami ngithi hayi fingerprint reject uma ngithi yabo. So phela manzela ndiyakuhlela somele ngenzeni and yanto yabona thina bomama silalento. So remember I was sick at that time and ngangigula vele nge-depression and all. Guys, abantu uma bekhoma podcast babhekanga. Angifuna
Anyway.
Yasufuna ne podcast.
Yasaxoxa.
Lapho ufuna khona.
Icamera anyway yakubona.
Alright.
Silapha silafilter.
So mina ngala lokho anti no my husband is driving so noma ngihamba ngegown it's fine. So ngisigqoyile igown ama morning shoes. So cabanga if fingerprint yama isangena lo security nje umthetho awuvuma ngikugown.
Shit.
Angiselanda yokuhlala.
Chinekeme.
And lapha ngacaba because isikhathi esiningi vele bengathwala ifone bengikwazi thenga ngishiya 10 minutes ngithenga amaphilisi yabuya after.
So ifone uchange.
Yeah, uyandlanda but that day ngayithwala shem. Yikho phela ngabhalelwa khona umtatata.
Oh, wasubona the message.
So then I tried to
Elosimo.
Yeah.
Elosimo. Yazo kule blue lapha yeke. Kumele process sim. Elosimo. And so ngaqala ukufela abantu uthi ndoda yaphela mina ngizela ndawo ukuhlala abantu yenza emsebenzini what I think that was my mistake, you know, when you have relatives eGoli never tell me ukuthi usela ndawo yokuhlala, rather say ngicela uzokubona abakuthatha
andlezi
wathi semphelele ndawo
abavumi
101 ngasuphela indawo bekho.
but ungathi sleep over
ungathi yalikhumbula
sleep over they'll take you in, let me tell you. That is the sleep over.
That
is more than 3
and that is very true, bruh.
We went through. Kuzothi ayiphethe lapha kufunakala more than 4 people. Umthetho vele ufuna 3.
Uketeka vele uyambhatalisa extra 1000.
Mawulala lapha isleep over is equivalent to 200.
So toketeka kadizeki. So with me it was like that.
So that
people
night
were telling me
sleep?
stories and stuff like that, and then my young sister was like, "Okay, who are in so?" I went to my sister's place. I figured ngalala. Then kusasa kwaba lokwana must stand and there's stories about must stand uzathini na ngahle ngabonti la. Then omunye wasisithi esinye isihlobo sankawathi no Linda ukubani ngasemtshitha no ngumna wamuzibani. Wathi ngilinde egarage eliduzela kuye kompa hamba ngamlinda wathi andlanda ngo4 guys u4 washa wadlula ya
5 wajaya
lala anti ngayisithi maybe uzandanda kusasa maybe ngachayisana maybe labana bakhuthele abasebenza kuza kube
njengathi so
lapho ukuziduduza yabona ukusabudinela maybe ngachayisana yabo alayo ukuthi umali umkhuthele yabuya kusasa kusasa lakho and umuntu obona belesipindi sokufonela noma ngamsukela ngokufona amtshela lapha nalingisuka enzabenza namhlanje njengolo ngalinda
ihope ikhuphuke
so like that amalanga chova people promising me and stuff so nganchacha khona phana egarage nganhlala kuyifone yami. So I think a lot of people didn't know what I was going through. Remember umuntu lo be ku 5-star hotel recently umuntu lo behlala endeda recently umuntu lo
and akakatsho lutho but
akasho lutho ukuthi impilo yakhe njani. So nganisaba ukutshela abantu ukuthi guys phela la kuchile so ngantshela phela close family but publicly I never went out because mina ku Facebook besides my Facebook page my personal Facebook active kakhulu, like people notice ukuthi namhlanje standard postang at that time ngangi active kakhulu. Now I can spend days but then people knew ukuthi la ngabe kulenkinga but anzange ngatshela umuntu ukuthi sekunzima. So kunjalo the way people abomama laba embancedisayo or abantu embasizayo kept calling me nginkinga zabo. Elama ngisabo bajethi into kokuncane. Leso kwabona umuntu ekufanele usaba umjethi
mina I'm going to the west.
Umjethi wena kuwe lapha unalutho bra. Mina kimi izikhala lapha inyaza bafaka.
Ngisaba ukubajethi guys now okwami I'm going through was. I remember there's a particular lady who actually called me. She said to me, "Ndoda Nthembi esibhedlela ngizothola uncedisa abantu Nthembi esibhedlela ngathola ubaba wami ethuthile emkhukhwini uthethe impahla zonke wabaleka and le futhi kuthiwa nginga breastfeed because CD4 count yami iyehlile so mele ngilokhuze sise angilalutho angilandawo yokulala phezukwayo anila nguba ngilana." So that woman wangenza part kwabantu bonke engihamba tshela istory lona ngathi no lo deserve story like she's got a newborn and she's going through konke lokho. Ikide ngaqala akula muntu I don't think emhlabeni to this day I still challenge ngiyabona abantu bewasha ama taxi ama quantum laba badlala ngaqala lapho kwasha ama taxi mina angwasha ama taxi trying to make money for that woman. I raised whatever I could raise ngagibela ngase Albertine ngagibela to town ngadlula ngithenga ama pampers la fake ngathenga ama
Virgie,
ama
wait you are homeless at the time. Awulanda ukuhlala usubusy.
Yeah, sengisebenza futhi yabo because ngibona nganokwakhe ku serious kulo kwami because wakhe kulo mntwana phakathi kulo kungutukununa phakathi akufani lo wami like mina I'm alone in the streets. So mina okwami inhlanhla like with this husband engikhuluma ngaye umntana ethu vele waya kumamazala singakabi lenkinga like just after she was born because mamazala ayishonelwe ngubabazala so wayesithi ulonely wathula so wami umntwana vele wayeko babazala
everything was fine
to this day umntana muko babazala like okomntwana vele amfuna uqamba manga we are okay.
Yeah.
So lo sisi lo ngasebenza ama taxini ngagesa ama taxi ngaraise imali engikwanisa ukuyiraise ngadlula ngithenga nje some few basics for her ngagibela ngaya kuye wanlayela shem emkhukhwini khona phana ngalahleka but ngafika ngathola vele umama uqinisile akula lutho and she was literally sleeping on the floor you know indoda ithethe konke so uyukuthi okay okwenguba ngilakho ngikwanisa ukuthenga ama pampers lokudla nyana nje because I was buying yabona amampupuli zenza amaloja amaloja ekhaya
ukupheka namuhla kuphele
awujiswa kakhulu
nganthe kunkwani izinto zenzana ezincanyana then I had to go kuma neighbors mina guys ukucela ngisabe ngihamba ngacela no lapha kuzofunakala ingubo lani people participated, people came in, but to me what hit me the most was when I was leaving her semvalelisa because I'm like to myself ngivalelisa nsiya
uyangaphi
you also homeless
yeah because lami kunzima like him. You know, that woman saw me breaking down in color. I think to this day I was ngakhalela.
So
and I
never
took a taxi back
her
to the streets. Do you understand? Shit. And ngapha iko kwahlukana motivation. After I did that for that woman, I started helping people. So in everything that I was doing, I didn't lose touch with omama labane esasilapha summit. Esasilapha ku gender summit lana. So sasihlangana for ama meetings nge-way forward ama survivors thina ukuthi no abasasipha counseling senze njani sasihlangana, but there are women within that collective abananzethu no man umuntu lo setshintshile na guys ngiyathanda ukuzibhochonga like ngiyathanda ukufaka even face powder noma ingahlali ngiyazama but no uzungcole kangaka
unkulumo umama ngathi engahlali kahle awuvumi awuvumi engaze into le ayimfanele
true
so lento thina sometimes engahlali uthi wazi kahle is wrong yeah matenda
no mela be constant
must be kumele
ngobona sephonga uaccept according to wrong
so there are women that realize no ngathi kwenzakalani ngawe. That is when I told them guys phela I'm living on the streets. Ami wathi no but ngeke kube njalo yazi emsebenzini kule lokhuzeni kule vacancy khona but angazi kumbuza ngena angazi uzoyenza njani but and ka interview kusasa angazi uzoyenza njani uzolalanga I know I'll try and figure out uzoyenza wathi ngo whatever happens ngicela ungambe ku interview ngcwele because indlela iyo avele ngangingokunye but guess what ngihamba ku interview ngcwele awuthola umsebenzi because labana abantu ngihamba tshela we-interview anti kulelo ukuthi babe kubuza mina hamba tshela like no guys bele lingiqhashe like alila choice la umele lingiqhashe mele lingiqhasha kula plan so bagcina sebengithathile anyway what I haven't mentioned so far is that when I was living on the streets, what helped me to survive on the streets was the fact that kulabantu joy ababebuya benza soup kitchen every night. They made sure ukuthi siyadla ongabelungu. They'll pray for us and make sure ukuthi siyadla ebusuku and all. They would come in every day. And then omunye I remember there was this other guy who said ngicela ukutshela something. If uNkulunkulu engawukhipha la kulesimo okuyisona ngicela ukuthi ungaphuma la o make sure ukuthi abantu basiza ngendlela la usizakale ngakhona we're helping you in order for you to help others.
Is this the reason why you are so passionate about those soup kitchens?
Yeah, I'm so
phela ngilitshele bahlali mfowethu mpofu yabona if there's one person who is passionate about what they do is this one. Angimtshelwa ngabantu angimbuzi Yamazi and the way yabona mina nginje so I've known her for years but nxa kuse ngedeyo ye-soup kitchen mele ngizwe ngaye futhi uyabe ngayenza ukuthi maybe uyandihlupha and I've grown to understand ukuthi uyayi-understand even when people come to me and say there's this initiative that we do ngaba-birthday yomuntu if you're saying I've got something to give back to the community plus or minus 2.5 to 3,000 you can feed the homeless in Berea, in Pretoria, in Zimbabwe, in Cape Town, wherever. I always say this, guys, if you want to do this, the person to go to Virgie, she understands, she knows what to buy, how much of it and whatnot. And then I started also following his footsteps. She really inspired me to do that. In 2019, I started. 2020, we did something. A Peteru first, then the following we did a Berea.
Yeah.
It was in the newspapers. It was because of how she did it. And I felt like she was bullying me at the time. You understand? Because I didn't really understand how she's doing it and what it entails, what it requires. And at the end of the day, I can tell you, Uti, I think in a year, there's almost like in each month, there's someone often when's the birthday I want to buy food, share that food with the homeless. She knows the ins and outs. She even knows those guys by name. She knows where to buy what and
you go to Mama is born.
Yeah,
so,
I know.
Manje igama lizonda
ililikhulayo.
Ililikhulayo mpela mina ngimuwe
yazi kulomjida othi
ngase mprintele izikhiphe ezibhalwe
kulomjida ngihlale ngifake example umjida lo community yakhe kwagcwele abantu ama youth angela future. This guy wafunda wagraduate wathola ama degree of photo wathola ama PhD. No one ever called him doctor. Wayefisa ukuthi ngabe esigabeni sakhe bambiza doctor ngisho. Ngelinye ilanga athiwa waphuza kakhulu ebhawa ekhaya evakashile. Wabezichiya. You can imagine igama bambiza ngalo. Yilo manje lakhulayo. So la wayesilo ukuthi wena ngambiza doctor.
Umapho.
Yesa ngumapho. Like okay lo. So like ikunja ukuthi yazi yabuzama ne abantu abafuni ngayo.
Okay, ayasidlule na.
Ngiyonga kulomuntu wami.
Disclaimer.
Yeah. So like me, commonly understand. Like,
I get
guys,
you.
I mean,
Are you saying this
winning activists.
But let me tell you, I truly get where she's coming from because amabizo or words or just amagama nje, they really carry a weight whereby instead of you being identified as someone who is doing this great work.
Yeah.
Kucina sokungathi vele into nje yokudlala.
No, I mean I do not mind being called names like abantu bambiza Standard, Popeye and all.
Yeah.
Movies mina noma ngazuthi sibonda kimi it's fine. But ungathi nazi bonda, ungathi nazi bonda usho abantu laba. These particular people. Is bonda. Ikala ngilwa khona. No abantu abamazozibonda, please.
Yazi
Ngono bize mina yesibonda ungathi abantu bami.
How many minutes have we gone or hours? How many? 1 hour and 1 hour and 10 minutes. 1 hour 10 minutes. 1 hour 23 minutes. Yokosti, the reason why ngibuza ukuthi uVirgie uqukethe okukhulu okunengi. This is why we say this is a platform whereby she needs to come back and Tina Sinj, I would tell you here today, there's a lot of stuff that we don't know as individuals, as people, as a group here, and also people out there. There are things we have probably said and we didn't know what they're hateful. There are things we have done. You are things like that. You understand? So, and as we grow and learn, we think ukuthi abantu abafanana lawe have to come here. Yeah. Because as much as you do the work out there in the streets, the guys are homeless and all that, but kulo munye umuntu out there who doesn't understand why you're doing what you're doing. I have seen you. We have seen you.
Yeah,
yes. Coming to that, the challenges, because what are the challenges that you're facing in this?
So kule msebenzi okanje lithe sizombiza manje ngikhuluma particularly ngalokho kwabomacala ne okwabomacala ama challenges maningi. Okay, so amacala what we do, I think uke wayenza soup kitchen lab. Guys, abantu abangakwaziyo mayisilo ngoba lokho sithi I think I keep referring to Joy.
Yes.
uJoy ngamaze engakabe nguJoy wenu lo engakabe kuJoyful community engakabe kwaSakhan uJoy sanguJoy lami sanguVirgie ethathe yikho hlala embiza Virgie ngoba ungazi nguVirgie
singela lutho ndo
Nobuhle Virgie Foundation
sisezuleke sigqoka ama flat cap.
Mina I'm that person ukuthi like if I'm going through stuff I just join any other group like izola nti bengikhuluma ku live about indaba yama society abantu abajoin ama society fungela mali ukujoin society like join isigaba sangini abantu bangina babekwazi yabona just join community yangini or if kusehlula la kuhamba komasasane lapha yana bakhona abantu abahlala behlangene lapha ukuye kukhuluma lawo ipho ngoba joina nje utolenza iproject yana okay mina ngwakuphi mina ngwenkayili ngabecholocho wara ngethanda into eliyenza lamlingi mina ngenza njalo when I was going through stuff empilweni ama just join any group ezuleke ngaba kwazi ikho lapha ngaba kwazi khona uJoyful it was ezuleke bezinathela labangani bakhe impilo zabo zimnandi impilo zabo zimnandi just join them ikho ngaba kwazi khona uJoy so he knows where I'm coming from. So anyway, the long as I was saying
as I was saying where were we categorically speaking
we basically so kuma soup kitchen wethu la siyenza almost weekly. We do not just give these people food. We have conversation with them. Absolutely. We talk to them. They open up ngempilo zabo estarateni odlongulilwe ebusuku kanje ndoda banrep sister banrepile abafana laba sometimes bebaqamba beselayini nabamrepile
the stories esiphuma laba
abanye like kuye kwaba le snow. You remember the snow? Snow yasabuya just before our soup kitchen day. This is sense soup kitchen the Kingdom Blue.
Yes.
Babe ingatela nini? How are you guys? Sister is no. Senzela man. Bebe simambe inkonzi yango bobusuku bo. Lenkonzi yango like. So there is a lot that happens. Then kubela laba bathi I mean impilo esitaradenziswa mina zingihle mina ngobuyela ngikhaya mina ngemagogo west ngizothiwa ubisela abantu mina ngemagogo west ngicela umbisele
eMagwegwe mina kwaNatali mina ngwase Free State.
So babuya bebaningi abantu abasho njalo kubakhona abafika vele ipocket lami li right kuyisup kitchen khona apha yathi wohlundlindo masiqeda lapho ekhaya because ngibe ngila imali. Remember I work for other organizations that pay me like even the podcast is ampata
so the Campro studios.
No, it's Campro.
Only here. So abanye never.
My podcast is on part. Finally impata. So macala ifuna uhambe ekhaya kusasa. If I like what is a fool. Liyekhaya.
Exactly.
Yeah. So bakhona bathi sifuna ukuyekhaya uma ngingela imali. Yikho lapha emposter khona umuntu guys kulo bhudoso uthi ngwekhezi okulo bhudoso ngwase KZN o ngwase Lesotho o ngwase Swaziland ofuna ukubuyela ekhaya singamncedisa njani. People pledge. So actually I organization yami isebenza nge individual contributions ukhona othi kulo bhuti ngicela ukumthengela iticket lokuye ekhaya imali iningi imtshele omunye ethi mina ngizomthengela impahla omunye ethi impahla ngithi no impahla ngicela uyenze sungasayenza impahla ngicela uyenze ama refreshments lan oyimali azahamba la ezi trying ngicisha yathi pickpocket yazi isikhiwo ezi pocket money uma sefikile ekhaya uma sefikile ekhaya and then bese kuhlanganiswa then umuntu abese hamba ekhaya.
Before you continue there, lapho kulabo abayekhaya, is it voluntary or maybe there are certain talks that you have with them and end up ubabonisa ukuthi maybe your situation might be better off if you go back home than you staying on the street, because I believe I've seen you having challenges of resistance. Some try in yourself umuntu akona engafuna ukuhamba or in that ukuthi resistance from
family members.
I've seen some families who come and want to speak against your move of sending someone back home. Utota basamfuni, they are better off being alive. So it's better off being alive. Yes, starting konangale. Mawusumletha back usubalethe problem.
So mina esengakunanzelela njengoba ngisitsho abantu labana bakhuluma kayizomacala bakhuluma like if ungela patience ukusebenza ngabantu labana.
We've had challenges with a lot of people.
Uhlulwa iramu muhle so isinikise inkosi dry. Like these are the kind of people that
No, they are very vocal.
So you can imagine if unguwe wena insistile ukuthi ahambe ekhaya. Uzabuya bhekethu nguwe othe. So mina ngihlala ngilinde kube yibo bona abanilandayo. So kube labantu abamfonela bethi no nhlangana lo bhudo so tsephelele indawo kuhlala ukuphi ngihlala imbabuza laba amfonelayo. Nguye othe ufuna ukubuyela ekhaya o nguwe othi ku right ukuthi abuyele ekhaya. Yabo? Because it always comes back to me every time. So I always make sure ukuthi yibo bona befuna voluntarily. So it's a voluntary repatriation. 1000. Kathi ungamisa me English. Misakomba from 4.
English leyo.
Voluntary repatriation.
Dango.
Yeah, so kuyamele bona kubazijolo ukuthi bona ufuna ukubuyela ekhaya. So manje endaweni zama challenges, because I sometimes I believe this thing is spiritual. But there's like something situba.
No,
for 3 days.
Ubuthona ku TikTok esikhulumela ethi mina ngikatela yesitarata ekhaya ubuyele ekhaya ngikatela itarata nje mabhim
ukuthi ubekulele garage
udlula la
siye on the next garage
to udlule manje imithwalo yakhe manje.
I think we spent 3 to 4 days.
3 days
looking for the
do you know how I know that place now? Every time I pass through there, I picture you guys
walking on those streets.
So ukholisa imali kaMo amadeva. So senze lethi ma ice cream.
Ngaphela imali.
Ethi ma. Please.
Siphuza amanzi ahloliweyo.
So
something umuntu.
So sometimes it's spiritual. Uthola ukuthi umuntu de ofuna ukumsiza umuntu ade yazi ukuthi ulala duze le dustbin.
Akaza suke.
Le dustbin le on that day akho.
Do you remember we ama garage ayengu 3 garages. Uthoma lo vele kasuki la but namuhla asikamboni.
Ama brand new.
Sakuhleli phansi yakuvula.
Ujob is a shy coaching.
Yesterday ngo-11 ebusuku I still have that picture. I was sitting down with that guy from Ekwekwe.
Exactly.
Tawrishona.
That's why I'm so wrong. Okay. So wehlule lapha.
Lo island ngazothola kahle.
So kuba njalo sometimes it's spiritual because there was umtholo that angikwazi lami ngangisuswe yini because navele ngilala khona phana ngazi ngangisuswe yini. Abanye vele imikhonta msayibhek ithini ke ndifile nge example. Kulabo bhuti abawu2 amele bahambe ekhaya. Babengazani bewu2 omunye wayehlala esigangeni sase Oliver. Like njengenyamazana umuntu ephila njengenyamazana ehlala duze lesifula egeze esifuleni ehambe dinga ukudla kimi wayisithi yazingela because vele andihlala esigangeni esiyazingela it's fine kwaba lo munye wayehlala eSoweto la esigangeni so abantu laba ngabatholela imali bengu2 semdenga athi namhlanje bayekhaya bengu2 sabafukula we clean them up and everything safika kuBumalayitsha because kulabanye emvume ethi bambe ngamabhasi because from town yokwazithenga abanye umele abangama special cases embonto uMalayitsha mele emshiye egedini
ambe ngiwo
so labana vele babe ngabe egedini umele bashiye egedini oyi-1 wahlwa ngene khona wathi wona ikhonda Nobuhle akwenzela khonda wajabula ngene emotweni oyi-1 lokho emephandle ebhema indoda phela ugwayizo olupheli la uzazitshisa umunwe la kusela ngene ekhonda mina sisterana sengicabange ukudla hayi mina sayekha what ndotamelo uhambe ekhaya nasayekha nto lo Malaysia sesisitshajene konke lamagosala abamba lawo and all
kula refund
but ngabe ngakabhadala ndinambhadala imoto sidumo because ngabazi labana ngumalala bejiki yabo lona sesitayena akasahambi ngabe imchiye ezimele ephandle semphampa lo phakathi ngihamba amodela indozi ngathi indozi zakhe ngithi ngikhawulisa lo phandle
kutabone
ngene discount ngathi mazelo navela uphuzi mazempopo shy still water shy juice shangana ufuna ugwayi uphema ubunjani anitshele dana lokho emephandle lokho ebhekini Malaysia imoto sidumo and then and hayi ndoda nayo imali yakho seyimbaleka lo phakathi hayi ndoda imali yashota le nto bangu2 ngathi akusela 2 lo uthi yasala ezabizana lawo Malaysia ndoda tsek ndoda ngena emotweni tsek ngena emotweni hayi mina safuna uhambe ekhaya no problem yawa uhamba imali yakho nokuthi uhamba imali kabani ngathi ngempathala ndoda ungena emotweni sikhathele
sesivalile phela futhi besides
imali engako Malaysia naya Malaysia yena namba lesiyangisa lo Thomas Zimbabwe bahlala egangeni la ngena emotweni ipeva la wena yabingena yafika yahlala emotweni sesemotweni soyimbona inyawo lokuzisithi andla msemphatha imali sebemuthi abamba and then asistering piece of lava ambula anoyeke wakubula lesokuright yawubona ambo chama butwa like now we are fine
yes to win Virgie one of the days we want you to bring abomacala I even know some of them by name or Tupac especially labo la phansi they talk to us about the struggles you understand but like as I said the privilege of knowing Virgie is we know some of the things she's gone through. There's a lot that she shared today kade singazazi but ngoba isikhathi siyaphela ama camera la bese khathele sokugcwele what not as we said we would love to welcome you here I want to give you now an opportunity to talk to people in 2 minutes how do they help Virgie where do they get hold of Virgie because kuningi okwenzayo ndoda ngeke uqede we need a week actually we need a year to talk to you about the tavern dialogues I myself when I get cases where people need help there are things that I know I can't do it I send it to Virgie and you're always there so briefly tell us how do people help? How do they get hold of you when you take it from there?
Yeah, so I rely entirely on individual contributions. So there is no sustainable funding for the organization that I'm running. I've been trying for funding for quite some time.
And it's a registered organization.
It is, it is a registered, and the reason why I registered it because we
yes, we remember.
But sometimes unchis umuntu gaya mkhuphule like la ngenza
wavusa
manje le frustan manje so ofuna ukunisiza njengoba nisisho ukuthi ngama individual contributions ansizayo so into ebengiyisaba kakhulu ebenyingayifuni ukuthi ngihlale ngile mali ku account yami yabona ukuthi because antayazi abantu bakithi uthi banjani so njalo kulinda kungaba lo muntu ole problem ngathi nangu umuntu ososefuna ukuyekha nangu nje kulabantu abachelwe yindlu emposte ngabo nje just recently just yesterday abachelwe yindlu kuphele yonke into abala ngisho impeda abanana yabantu abanjalo umamba later please come through and help with whichever way ilineli ikwanisa guys kulabantu bangala mfuna ukubaqamba they get all the funding that they need
absolutely
like abantu labana bazimele like otilda like utilda namanje uyenza lokonto twazinoyera zinoshamisa like abantu babuya yafonela nabantu bafuna ukuxolela maybe maybe kwenza ku podcast like umuntu ufuna ukuxolela owawonela omunye umuntu ofuna ukuxolelwa and stuff like
reality
reality
talks.
she can manage to do that because thina siready because of ama-resources
so?
They are not ready.
so kwamba ngama-resources thina ama-resources amfuna ukuqamba amanga mna
Asila.
in all honesty I do not have
Yeah.
uTamia tried to do funding for my car Nobuhle kathengela imoto guys izinto ezazikhulunywa
When
lapha
I remember.
hey igoli ngaphela sisambe ekhaya Nobuhle drive imoto yethu
Yeah.
yabo omunye wathi so does it mean uma senishayela Nobuhle njengoba senishayela Nobuhle imali uma senile problem Nobuhle uzaba khona
Gijima zontathu.
ufuna bekhona
I remember.
abantu bakhuluma izinto eziningi ngayistopa mina personally I said no ngizokhuluma le car dealership maybe ngingasponsor by individuals cabanga imoto sibhake phandle kwendozi kule party white yabo no pest
Nguya uzustart usambe.
imoto kaNobuhle lebe selinshoot isithombe imoto yami selishoot athi yabona imoto ethi sayithenga yabona Nobuhle
Isephathini.
because abantu bebiza imoto yethu and I was like
I remember I started.
Lezi kulomunye ubaba wayekhuluma behawula nje lo mfazi wakhe wathi mnyazi one day ngabamba super bed thoba babesidla igwadla belala ngalo exoxa nje sidla igwadla yabamba super bed mfuthe i4x4 man mfuthe imoto entswempu umfazi wathi yazi baba vele ungayithenga lami ngizayidriver yabona sengena uN1 nsiye ekhaya ngishaye ngo200 baba wabesha umfazi empama wathi ufuka ucrash imoto yami ikaba yenza khona yena
Imoto engekho.
fandi imoto yakabi khona phala kulabantu asebumsha kwaba njalo so okunye but ama challenges enhlangana ngama families futhi anga-understandi ukuthi uma siposta laphana umuntu ethe ucela usizo sikwenza ngoba sifuna ukuhlaza umuntu asihlosanga ukuhlaza umuntu for ifamily or anything no thina sifuna ukusiza umuntu so people should allow me to be they should allow us to work the way thina sebenza ngakhona because uma lokho lubuya ngamandla lami ngibuya le group yami thiwa bathwele ngayo brigade
So I think vele kuma comments lapha nje ngaphansi Virgie will see these comments we will see we work with her not lapha hayi phela babukela ngedata uyazo abantu abathethisanayo ngumuntu uhambe ebukela iWi-Fi ye library esibhedlela sibonge Virgie thank you so much today ama physical flowers but we really want to appreciate you for umsebenzi owenzayo we have seen you thina sikuzwa ku Facebook siyakwazi in person we've seen you struggling we've seen you winning don't talk like that
no
don't talk like that but this one for me guys Virgie is an inspiration because as she said we have known her before she became Nobuhle Virgie. She is as a brand as she is right now, the foundation that she has become. There's a lot of stories that we can sit here and talk about. One time we'll come and just talk about those personal stories, what we have been through. We've been accused, we've been beaten.
We are still accused.
Still accused. We spoke about two previous episodes how people should support you. Guys, support Virgie. Ungakhomenta sokunikeza ama details wakhe, ama contact details how you can support, how you can participate in what she's doing. Siyabonga kakhulu mfowethu isikhathi siphelile but soku ngale soku right sokuvuthiwe.
Virgie uboyekela ukusaba umnyama ngelampisi.
Yes.
Usaba.
Yeah, lana uyazixoxela.
Lana kusekhaya.
Also, you know why? Because of studio less, they ones were conscious. I mean, look at the cameras.
Yeah. Even the crew.
Yeah.
Guys, with the crew. Kule crew asefoni like
ungabona abantu labana ababhitha labana abakhuluma ihlamba ku Facebook that's why bashuta ngefoni ba hotspot komakhelwane guys support Nobuhle Virgie Foundation please siyacela as Campro Studios podcast yabantu siyabonga danko